This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Canner and Bob Murphy here at Wrigley Field in Chicago for the second game and a 5-game set between the Mets and the Chicago Cubs. The Mets won the opener yesterday by a score of 9-5. Now the New Yorkers trail the division-leading Cubs by 2½ games. There'll be a doubleheader here tomorrow and a single game on Thursday afternoon. It's another beautiful baseball afternoon in Chicago. Starting pitchers for the Cubs, it's going to be Joe Decker with a record of 1 win and 4 losses. For the New York Mets, left-hander Ray Sadecki, who has won 5 and lost 1. Lineup cards have been exchanged at home plate, so to check us out, here's Ralph Kiner.
All right, Lindsey Nelson for the New York Mets. Tommy Agee will lead off. He'll be in center field. Batting second at shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Batting third in left field, Cleon Jones. Batting fourth at first base, Art Shamsky. Batting fifth in right field, Dave Marshall. Batting sixth, playing second base, Ken Boswell. Batting seventh at third base, Wayne Garrett. Batting eighth and catching, Jerry Grody. And the pitcher, Ray Sadecki, batting ninth. For the Chicago Cubs, Don Kessinger will lead off. He'll be at shortstop. Batting second, playing second, Glenn Beckert. Batting third in left field, Billy Williams. Batting fourth, playing right field, Jim Hickman. Batting fifth at third base, Ron Santo. Batting sixth and playing first base, Ernie Banks. Batting seventh and playing center field, Cleo James. Batting eighth and catching, Jack Hyatt. And the pitcher, Joe Decker, batting ninth. And now the Chicago Cubs take the field. Good crowd on that for the second game of this 5-game set. The umpires for the game, Andy Olson at home plate. At first base, Ken Beckert. At second, Ed Sudol. And the umpire third, Lee Wire. Now from Wrigley Field in Chicago, our national anthem. Temperature, the official temperature in Chicago, 79 degrees. The lakefront temperature is 77 degrees. The wind from the southwest at 19 miles per hour. It's blowing out at Wrigley Field in Chicago as Tommy Agee comes in now to lead off. He's hitting .264. He has 15 homers and 32 runs batted in. Here's Joe Decker's first pitch, and it is in there for a called strike. Decker's 25 years of age. He has a record of 1 win and 4 losses. Against the New York Mets this year, he has won none and he's lost 1. Decker's a right-hander into the motion and the pitch. Breaks low and away, so it goes to 1-1. Bud Harrelson is on deck for the New York Mets. Decker started against the Mets on May 24th at Shea Stadium in New York. He went 6 innings, allowed only 2 runs on 5 hits, was lifted for a pinch hitter. Mets won the game 3-1. Here's a swing and a ground ball to short. Kessinger up and throwing and in time. Tommy Agee has grounded out short to first, and that brings up Bud Harrelson, who brings a 10-game hitting streak into today's game. Batting .292, 1 homer, and 20 runs batted in. On the coaching
lines for the New York Mets. Eddie Yost is at third, and Yogi Berra is the coach at first base. Joe Decker's pitch to the left-hand batter, and it is high and away for a ball to Harrelson. Leon Jones has moved up on deck. The Cubs are on the infield. Have Ernie Banks at first, Glenn Beckert at second today, Don Kessinger at short, and Ron Sanzo at third. There's a swing and a fly ball to center field. Leo James is there waiting, and he makes the stop. Two men are out, and Cleon Jones is coming up. Yesterday he had 3 base hits, and he stole 3 bases. Jones is hitting .237. He has 2 homers and 24 runs batted in. The Chicago Cubs have won 35 and lost 28. The Mets have won 33 and lost 31. The Mets trail the Cubs by 2.5 games. Decker looks for a sign, goes into the motion, and the pitch is inside for a ball. Last season, Joe Decker pitched 4 innings of shutout ball against the Mets on the final day of the season. That was October 2nd, right here in Chicago. The Cubs won that game by a score of 5-3. To give Decker a lifetime record now against the Mets of 1-1. The pitch is high and tight, cross the chest of Cleon Jones, backed him out. It's 2-0. Art Shamsky is on deck. Joe Decker spent most of the '69 season as a member of the pitching staff that led the Tacoma Cubs to the Pacific Coast League Championship. Here's a 2-0 delivery. Swung on and missed the breaking pitch. It's 2-1. Andy Olson is calling balls and strikes. Ken Burkhardt, who is the crew chief, is umpiring at first. Ed Sudol at second, and Lee Wire is around at third. 2 men out, nobody on base. Top half of the first inning. Jackie Hyatt sending out the sign, but Cleon Jones has backed out of the batter's box for a moment. Now settles himself back in. Decker's 2-1 offering, swung on, and a little dribbler foul off the third base side. Out of play, and the count is 2-2. In the doubleheader to be played here tomorrow, it'll be Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan pitching for the New York Mets against Bill Hans and Archie Reynolds on the Chicago Cubs. Jones is back in, swinging the bat loosely as he waits, and here's the 2-2 pitch. Low and away, so it's out full now. It's 3 balls and 2 strikes. Season series between these two teams is all even just now. 3 wins each this year. The season series last year, the Mets won 10, the Cubs won 8. 3-2 delivery. In there front. Ball, strike 3. First strikeout for Decker. Mets are out in order. Nothing across. In the middle of the first inning, the score is Mets nothing and the Cubs coming to bat. Now here's the word Rheingold. I am going on a long journey. I will be following the spring. It is high time that I was searching for the natural thing.
At Rheingold, we brew beer with the natural things. Today, in an age of artificial flavors and artificial colors and artificial products, Rheingold Extra Dry is brewed the old way, the natural way, with North Dakota barley, great American corn, imported in domestic hops, good water, and that's all. Everything is natural. So is the taste. Natural Rheingold.
It is high time that I was searching for the natural thing.
Rheingold Breweries Incorporated, New York, and Orange, New Jersey, ask you to help keep America beautiful.
Ray Sadecki's on the mound today for the New York Mets. He was scheduled to pitch Sunday against the Phillies in New York, but was moved up on until today, with Gary Gentry starting yesterday. Tedecchi is 29 years of age, 5'11", 185 pounds. He's won 5 and lost 1 last year for the Chicago Cubs. Or rather, for the San Francisco Giants, he won 5 and he lost 8. His lifetime record against the Chicago Cubs is 14 wins and 12 losses. Don Kessinger will lead off for Chicago. He's a switch hitter batting right. Kessinger is leading the poll for the starting shortstop berth on the National League All-Star team. He was the National League's All-Star shortstop last year. Here is Tedecchi's first pitch. Foul back and out of play. It's strike 1. On the coaching lines, it's Peanut Lowry at third base. Joey Amalfitano at first for the Cubs. Sends out the sign, and Tedecchi deals. Breaking pitch, it's a little high. Tedecchi has no record against the Cubs this year. He pitched 1 inning of relief against them on May 23rd, allowed no runs, no hits. In his last start on June 13th at Shea, he pitched a complete game to beat the Braves 4-1. That pitch is outside. His other complete game this season was a 5-1 victory over the Cardinals at Shea. He also defeated the Expos twice and the Astros once, and his loss was to the Cincinnati Reds. 2-1 pitch. Outside. 3-1. Glenn Becker's waiting on deck. Tedecchi deals 3-1. And he walks it 1-away. The Chicago Cubs pick up an early base runner, and Glenn Beckert comes up. He's been hobbled with a full groin muscle of late. But he's back in the lineup today. He's hitting .284 with 2 homers and 18 runs batted in. He is leading the poll for the position of All-Star second baseman. Beckert's a right-hand batter. Shamsky holds against the runner Kessinger at first base. Tedecchi's pitch is dealt in there for a call strike as Billy Williams has moved out on deck. It's a bright, warm, and sunny day here in Chicago. Here's a pitch. Well, down the left field line, and it is a fair ball going to the corner. Kessinger at third is being held up. Comes in. He's holding at third. It's a stand-up double for Beckert. And the Cubs have runners at second and third with nobody out. Yesterday, the Chicago Cubs got 2 runs in the bottom of the first inning. Billy Williams is coming up now. He's hitting .288. He has 18 homers and 66 runs batted in. Nobody out. Jim Hickman is on deck for the Cubs. This is a 1-0 delivery. Curveball. He scored 2 runs. Jessica has scored. Beckert scores. The throw goes to second base. Williams holds at first with a single to right and 2 runs batted in. The Cubs are leading by a score of 2-0. Jim Hickman hitting cleanup for Leo DeRoche's Cubs. Batting .332, 16 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Hickman is the 6th leading batter in the National League. shortstop, and Wayne Garrett at third. Leon Jones is in left, Tommy Agee is in center, and Dave Marshall is in right. Jerry Grody is the Met catcher. Another fine turnout here at Wrigley Field. Sadecki's pitch breaks high, and it's 2-0. Ernie Banks kneeling in the on-deck circle. Dugout and down toward the bullpen area, and Cardwell's going to start throwing down there. Ernie Banks is coming up. Banks is hitting .232. 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in. There's one man out. Cub runners lead at first and second. There's a breaking pitch a little low, and it's ball one. Cleo James, the center fielder's on deck. Sadecki sets up again. Here's a pitch. Hit on the ground, foul back at third, over to the Cub dugout. 1 ball and 1 strike. Williams is the runner at second, and Ron Santo is the runner at first. It's Ernie Banks. Foul off to the right side and out of play. Runs the count to 1-2. The sign. Here's 1-2. Breaking pitch high and away, so it goes 2-2 now to Banks. Don Cardwell continues throwing in the Met bullpen. Runners leaving the 2-2 delivery. It's foul back and out of play. Count holds at 2-2. The bullpen areas are just along the foul line, left and right. The catcher is a little exposed, and so somebody comes out to protect the catcher who has his back to the plate, and in this case it's Doug McGraw doing that duty for the Mets. 2-2 delivery, hit on the ground, foul back to third, and the count continues. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sadecki deals the pitch, curveball high, and it goes full at 3-2. There's 1 man out. Sadecki fingers the rosin bag and tosses it down. Runners take their lead. Sadecki steps off. Tightens him up. Runners go. Here's a swing and a high fly ball to short center field. Agee coming in. Harrelson going out. had the runners going on the 3-2 pitch with one man out, runners at first and second. Leo James is the right-hand batter. He's hitting 193, 2 homers, and 6 runs batted in. Bottom of the first inning, and the Cubs are leading the Mets by a score of 2-0. Again, Sadecki's pitch. Hit on the ground back to the mound, taken by Sadecki and tossed over to Art Shamsky. James actually was checking back away from the pitch when he dribbled it out to the third base side of the mound. Side is out as the Cubs picked up 2 runs on 2 hits. There were 2 walks, no errors, and 2 left. The end of an inning, the score is the Cubs 2 and the Mets nothing. Well, the Mets' 9th annual Old Timers game will be on Saturday night, July 11th at Shea Stadium, and it'll be dedicated this year to Casey Stengel and his approaching 80th birthday. The festivities take place before the regularly scheduled game between the Mets and the Montreal Expos. Acceptances have been coming in daily from the long list of distinguished baseball players who will be on hand. And my group, Mark Quad, and Frankie Frisch, and Dave Bancroft, and George Kelly, Al Lopez, and Tony Cuccinella, and Van Mungo, Joe DiMaggio, Mickey Mantle, Roger Maris, Whitey Ford, Yogi Berra, Gil Hodges, Richie Ashburn, Al Jackson, Jay Hook, Frank Thomas, Carl Erskine, Roy Campanella, Eddie Stanky, Bobby Thompson, Carl Furillo, Don Drysdale, Sandy Koufax. It's July 11th, Saturday night, Old Timers night at Shea Stadium. A night for nostalgia, and tickets are now on sale all around the town. Mets will be coming up here in the top half of the second inning as soon as Decker has finished his warm-up pitches. There is no other baseball action going just now. In the major leagues, it's all-night action. In the National League, the San Diego Padres are at Houston. Danny Coombs 6-5 against Jack Billingham 4-1. St. Louis Cardinals are at Pittsburgh. Chuck Taylor 2-4 against Bob Moose 6-6. The Dodgers are at Atlanta. Bill Singer 2-2 against McQueen 0-1. Montreal at Philadelphia. Danny McGinn 3-5 against Jim Bunning 5-7. San Francisco Giants are at Cincinnati. Mike McCormick 2-2 against Gary Nolan 7-4. Art Shamsky is up to lead off for the New York Mets. Left-hand batter. Decker's pitch, high and away. Shamsky is hitting .322. He has 6 homers and 26 runs batted in. For 8th batter among the National League leaders, Art Shamsky. Decker retired the side in order in the first inning. There's a swing and a drive to second. Taken by Decker for the out. Art Shamsky ripped the line shot right at the second baseman, Glenn Becker. Now Dave Marshall's the batter, playing right field today. He's hitting .269, 2 homers and 15 runs batted in. Over the last 8 games, the Mets have hit .319 as a team. That pitch is in for a tall strike. That has raised the team batting average from .229 to .241. The 8 games, the Mets have scored 54 runs. Pitch to Marshall. Breaks in there for a called strike 2. The Mets have won 6 of their last 8 games and 8 of their last 11. They're trailing in this game by a score of 2-0. One man on, nobody on base. Mets batting in the top of the second inning. Decker's pitch swung on and fouled off. The count holds at 2 strikes. the air tomorrow at 1:25 p.m. New York time to bring you both games of the doubleheader. Pitch is fired low, and it's 1-2. Ken Boswell is next in the Met batting order. Delivery. Swung on and hit deep to left center. It's way back there, going, and this one is gone for a home run for Dave Marshall. Into the left center field bleachers. Marshall's third home run of the year gives the Mets their first run of this afternoon. It is the Cubs 2 and the Mets 1. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The temperature is 78 degrees. Cahoe's Savings Bank. The time is 3 o'clock. Cahoe's Savings Bank is a member of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation. Each depositor is insured for $20,000.
Stubbs into the scoring column. Dave Marshall's third home run. His first one this year came at San Francisco off Gaylord Perry, and his second one at Montreal off Bill Stoneman. That pitch is low to Boswell. The one in San Francisco was a grand slammer for Marshall, the first of his career. So the one he's hit here today is number 3 off right-hander Joe Decker. Pitch to Boswell, swung on and missed. Boswell's hitting .276. He has 4 homers and 21 runs batted in. Here's the 0-2 delivery. Swung on and hit in the air to right field. And Jim Hickman is moving over. Hickman gets there to make the catch. 2 men out, and Wayne Garrett will be the batter now. He's hit safely in 6 consecutive games. Garrett's hitting .295. He has 4 homers and 10 runs batted in. In the last 6 games, Garrett's gone 10 for 18. That pitch is low for a ball. Over that same stretch, Garrett has 5 runs batted in, and he scored 8 runs himself. Get on the ground to short. Kessinger is there. He plays it across to Ernie Banks, and Garrett's out. So the Striders are tied 1 run on 1 hit. That's the homer by Marshall. No errors and none left. In the middle of the second inning, the score is the Cubs 2 and the Mets 1. We'll be going to the bottom of the second inning now, and Jackie Hyatt, the catcher, will be up for Chicago. In the American League, it's all-night action. The Minnesota Twins are at Milwaukee. Bruce Lyleven 2-2 against Bob Boland 1-5. The Baltimore Orioles are at Boston against the Red Sox. Jim Palmer 10-3 against Ray Cup 5-7. Hyatt hitting .270, 2 homers, 21 runs batted in. Right-hand batter facing left-hand pitcher Ray Sadecki. Willie Mays of the San Francisco Giants needs 14 more base hits to reach the 3,000 mark. A milestone for the 39-year-old Giant outfielder, one of the all-time old-timers. Here's a swing and a high pop to the right side in foul territory. Shamsky has a play, and he makes the catch just in foul territory as he was moving back toward the line. Far away on the pitcher, Joe Decker's coming up. You tried the new Gillette Platinum Plus. It's the blade with the edge that's harder than stainless and more durable than chrome. It shaves you closer and with more comfort than any blade in history.
Lindsay talking about Willie Mays. Hank Aaron was the first man to have 3,000 base hits and hit 500 home runs in the history of baseball. Mays will be the first man to have 600 home runs and 3,000 base hits.
There's a pitch in at the knees for a call strike to Joe Decker. Breaking pitch is fouled off to the right side out of play. So it's 2 strikes. Cubs 2 and the Mets 1. Bottom of the second inning. Wrigley Field in Chicago. 4-game series earlier this year in New York. The Cubs won 3 of the 4 games. Here at Wrigley Field, they played only 2 games previously, and the Mets won both of those. First time in, the Mets won 1, and then they were rained out. They'll make that one up tomorrow. Tucker's a little tired of waiting and moves back out of the batter's box. Leadoff man Don Kessinger is waiting on deck. Ray Sadecki's pitch. Inside for a ball. It's 1-2. Ralph, I noticed the bat boy is wearing the number 2, and I suspect that's Leo DeRoche's stepson.
I'd have to believe that too, Lindsay.
Not too many people are going to be wearing the number 2 around a DeRoche-run ball club other than DeRoche. Here's a swing and a foul ball backing out of play. Nobody on base. Here's 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed, and Sadecki gets his first strikeout of the afternoon. 2 away. Don Kessinger is coming up. He's been up 1 time. Drew a walk and later scored the first run of the ball game.
Like 2 hours ago, Lindsay, that his adopted son Chris was the bat boy in the Polo Grounds in New York.
Certainly was. Matter of fact, later years when Leo was working on the game of the week, Chris used to travel with him on that assignment. 2 men out, nobody on base. There's a swing and a foul ball backing out of play. It could be that after careful consideration, Leo decided it would be a better move to have this young man as the bat boy every day here rather than have him at camp in Wisconsin. Because last year Leo went to visit him during the heat of the pennant race. Here's a pitch high for a ball, and there were all sorts of repercussions to that incident. Kessinger is a switch hitter, batting right. Swing and a drive to right field, and Marshall is over and pulls it down. The line drive gets the side out in order. Nothing across. And at the end of 2 innings of play, the score is the Cubs 2 and the Mets 1.
Well, the man who invented McDonald's Big Mac deserves a gold medal and a pat on the back. He took a pair of juicy burgers and a 3-decker bun, took a scoop of special sauce and still wasn't done. He put in cheese and pickles and crispy lettuce, and it turned out huge.
Stop in at McDonald's and pick up a Big Mac, French fries, and a Coke. McDonald's can put good food in your family and change back in your pocket.
If you're rolling down the highway with the family in your bug and they're screaming that they're starving, just bring them into us. Just bring them to McDonald's. It's tidy and it's neat. And before they faint from hunger, we'll serve them lots to eat that's tasty and nourishing and peachy quality and more fun than jumping off a log.
Taking the family to McDonald's is about as American as hamburgers, French fries, and a Coke. McDonald's can put good food in your family and change back in your pocket.
Here in Chicago in the second game of a 5-game series, we're going to the 3rd inning. The Cubs are leading the Mets by a score of 2-1, and coming in for the play-by-play, Ralph Kiner.
Thank you, Lindsey Nelson. Hi, everyone. And for the Mets, it'll be Jerry Grote to lead off. Jerry, a big day yesterday, and the Mets 9-5 win. 3 for 4, and today batting for the first time. Jerry hitting at 173. He has 23 base hits and 133 times up. On the mound, Joe Decker, and the first pitch is hit to left field, far to left field, going back is Billy Ray. feet. It is 3:55. Then the stands come in towards the infield area and get closer to the batter's box, home plate area, and then cut across out to 368. So a good hitting park. If that ball had been to the right about 55 or so feet, it would have been a home run. First pitch to the pitcher, Ray Sadecki, is low for a ball. Same situation exists in right field. Pitch back to Sadecki over the inside corner. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sadecki has been up 16 times. He's had 2 base hits. Cubs lead 2-1. 1-1 out. Top of the third. Pitch, ground ball to the second baseman, Glenn Beckert. He fields the ball, throws the bank, 2 men away. That'll bring up Tommy Agee for the second time of the game. His first time up, he grounded out to short. Tommy has hit safely in 17 of his last 19 ball games. Yesterday, he was 1 for 5 with a 3-run home run. Tommy hitting .263 with 15 home runs. That leads the club. 32 RBIs. That also leads the club. Agee, a right-hand batter, being played just about straight away by Chicago. His home run yesterday was a drive straight away to center field, a long one. First pitch, a slider, low and away, ball 1. Ball had to travel over 450 feet. Now Joe Decker, a right-hander back, and the pitch to Agee puts him right on his back as Agee goes down to the ground, getting out of the way of a pitch right under his chin. He got out of there in a hurry. He bailed out so fast that he hit flat on his back. 2 balls, no strikes. Tommy Agee was originally signed by Cleveland. He played here in Chicago for the White Sox. The 2-0 pitch. And it's low, ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. On deck batter, Bud Harrelson. Cubs 2, the Mets 1. 2 men away, top of the third. Agee checks out to see whether he'll be hitting. Eddie Yost, the third base coach, sending the signs in. And the 3-0 pitch. He swings away, grounded to Ron Santo. 1 hopper, Santo at third base, fires the first, and the sign is retired. 1-2-3 for Joe Decker, and the score in the middle of the third. The Cubs 2, the Mets 1.
All new 1970 New York Mets yearbook is now on sale. And once you see this year's official yearbook, you'll agree this is the biggest, the best, the most colorful ever. 64 pages, more than 250 photographs, including 28 pages of photos in color. Pick up your copy the next time you're at Shea, or if you like, order your copy today by mail. Send $1 in cash, check, or money order to Mets Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, zip 11368. When you receive your copy, you'll find the centerfold is a handsome 2-page picture in full color of the world champion New York Mets, suitable for framing. You'll also find career records of every Mets player, a section devoted to the All-Star Game, and a 4-page World Series section. All this and more is yours in baseball's #1 buy, the all-new 1970 New York Mets Yearbook. To order your copy by mail, simply send $1, cash, check, or money order to Mets Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. And be sure to include your name and address.
Going to the bottom of the third, the Cubs leading 2-1, and their first batter will be the second baseman, Glenn Beckert. Glenn doubled down the left field line his first time up to set up a chance for the Cubs to go in front. His 2-base hit coming was on Kessinger on first base with a walk, and later on, Billy Williams, who is the on-deck batter, singled to right to drive in the 2 runs. The Mets got the run back, one of the runs back, when Dave Marshall hit a home run to left field, left center field. First pitch is in, a curveball for a called strike. Beckert hitting .288. He has 2 home runs, 18 runs batted in. Right-hand batter, and he takes a called strike for strike 2. Beckert, the last 2 years, the toughest man in the National League to strike out. and the 1-2 pitch to Beckert. High curveball, 2 balls and 2 strikes. Sadecki has not had good command in this ball game. He has been behind most of his hitters. He has walked 2, given up 2 base hits. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. High and away, ball 3. So after getting a 2-strike count, Sadecki now falls to Glenn Beckert. Beckert has only struck out 8 times so far this year. He has been up 219 times. And the pitch. It is hit foul into the stands down the first base side. So the count remains at 3 balls and 2 strikes. Tomorrow, a big doubleheader coming your way. We'll be on the air at 1:30, New York time. It'll be Tom Seaver and Nolan Ryan pitching for the Mets tomorrow. And the Chicago Cubs will have Bill Hands and Archie Reynolds going. Now pitch low and it's ball 4. So Beckert, after a 2-strike count, is walked as he leads off in the bottom half of the 3rd. That brings up Billy Williams, who singled to right field his first time up. Williams hit a curveball to right field to drive in 2 runs his first time up. Billy now with 58 RBIs. Has a batting average of .291 with 18 home runs. Left-hand batter being played straight away by the Mets. First pitch, a curve hit deep to right center field, and it's going, it is gone. Home run drives in 2 more runs, and the Cubs lead 4-1 on the base hit by Billy Williams. That brings up Jim Hickman, who's flying out to right field his first time up. Ball hit in right center field about 425 feet. First pitch, a let-up, low and inside, ball 1. Jim Hickman, batting right-handed, has an average of .330, has 16 home runs and 46 RBIs. Drove in 3 runs yesterday for the Cubs. 1-0 pitch. It is over, called strike, 1 ball, 1 strike. Cubs now have 4 runs on 3 hits. Back with a curve that's outside. 2 balls, 1 strike. Sadecki came into the ball game with a record of 5 wins and 1 loss. He has no decisions against Chicago. Lifetime record of 104 victories, 104 losses. 2-1 pitch is hit in the air toward right field. Coming in is Dave Marshall, a high fly ball. Dave under the ball, and he makes the catch. 1 away. Now to bring up Ron Santo, who walked on 4 pitches his first time up. With 7 home runs and 39 RBIs. And Ray Sadecki with his first delivery, fastball right in there for a called strike. Now Sadecki back, and the pitch, a curve that's over, called strike 2. Sadecki has been throwing a lot of high curveballs in this ball game. Young the curve to Billy Williams, which he hit out of the ballpark. Pitch right there was a high curveball for a called strike. Now the pitch by Sadecki. Fastball hit high in the air on the first base side. Art Shamsky coming down the line makes the call. And he makes the catch in fair territory. 2 men away. Now to bring up Bernie Banks. Ernie flied out to center field on the 3-2 pitch the first time up. Ernie hitting .231 with 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in. the Cubs in 1953. And he pops the first pitch up on the shortstop side. Bud Harrelson near the bag making the call. And he makes the catch, and as he makes the catch in the shortstop position, Oswald, coming over from second base, runs into it. But Bud is not hurt, and he holds on to the ball. The side is retired. 2 runs, 1 hit. No errors and no one left on. And the score at the end of 3. The Chicago Cubs 4, the New York Mets 1. I am going on a long journey.
It lets Rheingold carbonate itself naturally. If you wonder why Rheingold Extra Dry tastes better than other beers, it's because we keep it simple and natural. Natural Rheingold. It is high time that I was searching for the natural thing. Rheingold Breweries Incorporated, New York, and Orange, New Jersey, ask you to help keep America beautiful.
We're going now to the top of the 4th inning with the Mets trailing 4-1. Cubs have 4 runs on 3 hits. The Mets have 1 run on 1 base hit, a home run by Dave Marshall. First pitch to Bud Harrelson as he leads off. It's low and inside. He gets by the catcher, ball 1. Bud with a 10-game hitting streak. Got 1 hit last night. Yesterday, actually. 1 for 5. Got it his last time up to extend his hitting streak to 10 games. Now he hits one hard through the middle into center field for a base hit. So Bud now 11 consecutive ball games. And he has picked up at least 1 base hit. And he is on to first base with no one out in the 4th inning. And Cleon Jones coming up. Harrelson before the base hit hitting .291. He's trailing in the All-Star voting. Don Kessinger, Chicago Cubs shortstop, is leading the voting for shortstop. So you still have time to vote for Bud Harrelson, who has a comparable, if not better, record on paper than Don Kessinger. If you so desire. Cleon Jones brought a 5-game hitting streak to this ballgame. His first time up, he was caught looking at a 3-2 pitch. Throw to first base, Harrelson back easily. Bud had 13 stolen bases in 16 tries. Mets had 4 stolen bases yesterday against Jack Hyde and the Cub pitchers. They're trailing by 3, and the first pitch to Jones is high, ball 1. Cleon had 3 of the 4 stolen bases yesterday. The run his stolen base total at 10 out of 12. Cleon also had 3 hits and 4 times up yesterday. He's now batting .236 with 24 RBIs. The 1-0 pitch by Decker is high and inside. 2 balls, no strikes. Decker with a record of 1-4. He won his first Major League game the last day of the season last year against the Mets in relief. And at 2-0, the pitch to Jones is swung on and fouled off. So the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. This is Decker's 12th start this year. Made 1 appearance against the Mets so far this year. Lost the ball game to New York. Go to first base again. Harrelson back easily. 2 balls, 1 strike. Decker sets, checks it first, and the pitch to Cleon Jones is rounded foul. Ball hit straight down and bounced up and hit Cleon's bat while he was still in the batter's box. So the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. This game, the only day game scheduled. And it's a beautiful day for baseball here in Chicago. Two balls, 2 strikes. And the pitch. And Cleon takes it high. Ball 3. So full count to Cleon Jones. The on-deck batter is Art Shamsky. Well, the Mets are trailing by 3 runs in the ball game. See how Gil Hodges plays it. The conservative manager will not have his runner going at first base with a 3-run deficit. running. The pitch is fouled off. So Bud Goyne on the play has to return to first base. No one out. We're in the top of the fourth inning. The Mets trailing 4-1. Edging off at first base as Decker checks out the sign. And once again, Harrelson is running, and the pitch is low for ball 4. So that puts runners at first and second base. It brings the tying run to the plate. The batter's Archamsky. And we pause now for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The temperature is 79 degrees. Our time is 3:32. Time to save at Cohoes Savings Bank, where interest is highest in Latham and Cohoes.
Along with Lindsey Nelson and Bob Murphy from Wrigley Field in Chicago. Archamsky the batter. Runners at first and second. The Mets need 3 to tie. Art lined to second base his first time up. Batting at .320. He has not had a extra base hit in this series. He had 1 for 4 yesterday, a bouncing base hit through the middle of the diamond. The wind has picked up in velocity, blowing out toward center field. And with the wind blowing to center field, it flows from out of the southwest here in Chicago. The old days, Lindsay, you could smell the stockyards with the wind blowing like this.
That makes you think you feel.
Now, strike 2 pitch, grounded slowly foul on the first base side. Count remaining at strike 2. Well, they don't have the accumulation of stock like they used to have, because this at one time was the center of where they shipped all the cattle. Now they do it in different areas. They still have a few cows around. Outstead. Strikeout. Harrelson on at second base. Cleon Jones at first. The batter Archamsky and Joe Decker with his next delivery. And it's looked at. Strike 3 call. For Joe Decker, his second strikeout. His other also was a called strike for strike 3 on Cleon Jones. That'll bring up Dave Marshall, who hit a home run his first time up. The only thing that's going to impress you about a White House cigar is how it tastes compared to other cigars. Really appreciate a White House cigar, you have to smoke their cigar. Dave Marshall had a home run his first time up to left center field. It was his third of the year. His average at .278. He has 16 RBIs. One away, top of the fourth. High run of the plate. And the first pitch is in the dirt, dug out by the catcher Jack Hyatt. A good play. It's ball 1. Marshall's home run was his first hit of the series. He had gone 0 for 3 yesterday. One ball, no strikes. Now Decker set, checks at second base. And the pitch. And it's a slider low and inside. 2-0. Wrigley Field, the only major league ballpark without lights. And at 2-0, the pitch to Marshall. And he takes a called strike at the knees. 2 balls, 1 strike. Years ago, it did not used to be a good hitter's ballpark because they used to allow the fans of the bleachers to sit directly behind the center fielder in the seats in center field, and it was very, very difficult to see the ball as a hitter. That section has been blocked out now, and it is a fine hitter's ballpark. 2-1 pitch, and it's ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. Used to take your life in your hands when you went up to the plate here in the old days of Wrigley Field with those bleachers full and the area right directly back of center field. In a sequence of pitching every time at the plate, you'd lose about one pitch out of 6. They had pitchers to back it up. The 3-1 pitch. In the dirt, it's low for ball 4. So Marshall walks to load the bases. And it brings up Ken Boswell. That's the second walk issued by Joe Decker. Cubs are leading 4-1 and already with a base hit and 2 walks and the bases loaded action starting up in the bullpen. Don Kettinger comes in to talk to the pitcher, Joe Decker, 23 years old. Jim Dunnigan is warming up in the bullpen. First pitch is in the dirt. It's dug out by Jack Hyatt. A fine play to save a wild pitch. Ball 1 to Boswell. Boswell flied out to right field his first time up. Jim Colburn is now warming up in the bullpen for Chicago. The right-hander. Infield is back at first, second, and short. Ron Santo third is about even with the bag. Here's a pitch to Boswell. It's outside, ball 2. 2 balls, no strikes. Boswell brought a 5-game inning streak into the ball game. He was 1 for 4 yesterday. No strikes. And the pitch. Boswell taking all away. It's ball 3. 3 balls, no strikes. Bases loaded. The Mets trailing by 3. 1 man out, top of the 4th inning. So Joe Decker, who had not walked the batter until this inning, had pitched himself into a deep hole. Now the sign is out. The windup and pitch. And Decker fires it in for a called strike. Boswell again taking 3 balls, 1 strike. Bud Harrelson led off with a single to center field in the first pitch. Leon Jones with the count 3-2 fouled the pitch off and then walked. Art Temke was struck out, got caught looking, but then Dave Marshall walked in a 3-1 pitch to load up the bases. Now 3 balls, 1 strike to Boswell. And the pitch. A swing and a ground foul. And the count goes full. Mets and Cubs have met 6 times so far this year. The Mets have won 3 and the Cubs have won 3. Cubs have yet to beat the Mets here in Wrigley Field. They lead now, though, at 4-1 with the Mets with the bases loaded. 1 man out, top of the 4th. Again, the 3-2 pitch. It's outside, ball 4. And Boswell walks, and that forces in a run. Harrelson scoring from third base. The score now 4-2 in favor of the Cubs. And the Mets have the time run down at second. Leon Jones goes to third. Marshall goes to second. And Boswell gets the run batted in. That is his 22nd of the year. And here comes pitching coach Joe Becker out to the mound to see Joe Decker. Joe Becker retired last year and then was talked back into baseball. Time, well-respected pitching coach for the Dodgers. 3 walks in the inning for the Mets. Also a base hit and a run in. Don't see much of Leo DeRocher anymore. He seldom comes out of the dugout. Now the sign has been made. That's all for Joe Decker. New pitcher coming in the ball game, Jim Colburn. Jim, a right-hander, 6 feet tall, 185 pounds, from Santa Paula, California. Last year, he, along with Joe Decker, at Tacoma. Colburn at Tacoma was 8-7. He pitched in 6 ball games last year for the Cubs and had a record of 1-0. Pitched a total of 15 innings. So, Decker out of the ball game and Jim Colburn in. And while he gets set to warm up, let's check out the schedule with Lindsey Nelson.
All right, Ralph, in the National League, it is all-night action. The San Diego Padres are at Houston. Danny Combs, 6-5 against Jack Billingham, 4-1. St. Louis Cardinals are at Pittsburgh. It's Chuck Taylor, 2-4 against Bob Moose, 6-6. The Los Angeles Dodgers are at Atlanta. Bill Singer, 2-2 against McQueen, 0-1. Montreal Expos are at Philadelphia. It's Danny McGinn, 3-5 against Jim Bunning, 5-7. San Francisco Giants are at Cincinnati. Mike McCormick, 2-2 against Gary Nolan, 7-4. Over in the American League, it's also all-night action. Minnesota Twins at Milwaukee against the Brewers. Bert Blyleven, 2-2 against Bob Boland, 1-5. Baltimore Orioles are at Boston against the Red Sox. Jim Palmer, 10-3 against Ray Cup, 5-7. The Detroit Tigers are at Washington. Mickey Lolich, 6-7 against George Brunette, 4-5. The Chicago White Sox are at California against the Angels. Jerry Janeski against Andy Messersmith, 6-6. Kansas City Royals are at Oakland against the A's. Dick Drago, 5-4 against Chuck Dobson, 6-6. The Yankees and the Indians are not scheduled. Ralph, we certainly want to take note of the fact that the broadcasting crew and everyone else connected with the New York Mets was saddened yesterday with the news of the death of Jack Lightcap, former public address announcer at Shea Stadium. Jack was very ill over the winter, but came back and worked on opening day at Shea Stadium this year. Just the opening day assignment, and he died yesterday. Now back to the play-by-play and Ralph Kiner.
All right, Lindsey Nelson. Wayne Garrett, the batter. Bases loaded. One man out, top of the fourth. On the mound, Jim Colburn. This is his 17th appearance. He has made one start this year. Here's the windup and pitch. And he hits a hard smash to second. It's knocked down by the second baseman, Beckert. The throw to first base is not in time. And all hands are safe, and the Mets get another run. That ball was a hard smash that Beckert, in his haste, trying to pick up a double play, knocked down. And we'll see how it scores. If he had held on to the ball, it would have been a sure double play. The ball was hit that hard. On the play, Leon Jones scores from third base. And the Mets now have the tying run at third. And the go-ahead run at second base. And the batter coming up is Jerry Grote. That'll be scored an error on Beckert. And a run batted in for Wayne Garrett. Wayne now with his 11th RBI. Ball was hit hard, but it was not too difficult a chance as it was a one-hopper. And the first pitch to Grote is in for a call strike. Jerry flied out the deep left his first time up. Yesterday he was 3 for 4, and he's now batting 172. Infield still back all the way around. One man out. And a fly ball into center field. It might drop in. It will drop in. Coming in to score from third is Marshall. From second base is Boswell, and the Mets go out in front. 2 runs batted in for Jerry Grote, his 12th and 13th of the year. And all those runs going against the record of Joe Decker, the starting pitcher. And the Mets now leading by a score of 5-4, still one away. Runners at first and second as Garrett moved on down to second base on the base hit to center by Grote. And it brings up Ray Sadecki. Ray grounded out to second base his first time up. And the first pitch hit through the middle into center field, a base hit. Garrett coming around to score from second base. Grote goes into third, and the Mets now lead by a score of 6-4. 5 runs in here in the top of the fourth inning. And the batter coming up will be Tommy Agee. He'll be the 9th man to bat. Run scoring, Garrett from second base will be charged against the record of Jim Colburn, who relieved Joe Decker. Now some more action starting up in the bullpen for Chicago. Steve Barber, former Baltimore Oriole pitcher, a left-hander warming up. First pitch to Agee is taken outside, ball 1. Tommy is 0 for 2. Grounded out to short and third his first 2 times up. Agee is hit safely in 17 of his last 19 ball games. Next delivery is hit hard through the middle, a base hit into center field. Grote scores from third base. Sadecki's going to third. Here's the throw, and it is cut off. Agee draws the throw at first, and he slides back left-hander warming up in the bullpen. Becker making the sign that he wants another pitcher in the ball game. So the third pitcher of the inning comes in, Steve Barber. Barber, former Baltimore Oriole pitcher, also pitched for the Angels. Steve was released by the Milwaukee Brewers a week before the start of the 1970 season. Was signed to a AAA contract by the Tacoma Cubs. He went to Tacoma, and after compiling a 1.53 ERA in 29 and a third innings, was purchased by the Cubs May 13th. He was obtained by the Brewers in the expansion draft of the New York Yankees. Former 20-game winner with the Baltimore Orioles back in 1963. Steve Barber in the ball game. He'll be pitching to Bud Harrelson. Still one away. The Mets leading by a score of 7-4 as they bat at the top of the fourth inning. Steve Barber was 1-1 at Tacoma. So far, since he came up to the Cubs, he has appeared in 4 previous ball games, all in relief. Worked 1 inning against San Diego, gave up 2 hits and 1 run. Worked 1 2/3 innings against the Dodgers, gave up 2 hits and no runs. He worked 1 inning against San Diego, gave up 4 hits and 3 runs. And his last time out was against St. Louis on June 19th. He worked 1 1/3 innings, gave up 2 hits and 2 runs, and got a loss in that ball game. His record at 0-1. Jim Coburn, going out of the ball game, did not retire a batter. Gave up 3 hits, got 1 batter to ground to second, which would have been a double play, but it was dropped by Becker. Now Barber to Bud Harrelson, a wild pitch, and Ray Suzuki scores from third base. Tommy Agee goes to second, the ball going up on the screen, and Agee going to third will have to return to second. So a wild pitch in the first pitch. The Mets now with 7 runs in and leading by a score of 8-4. Backing off the pitching rubber, faking Agee back towards second base. And the next pitch is in the dirt. It's blocked by Hyde, and the ball rolling out in front of the plate. Agee stays at second. So 2 pitches, 2 very wild pitches. And it's ball 2. No strikes. Barber sets. Here's the pitch. And it's in the dirt. Dug out on the hop by the catcher, Jack Hyde. Ball 3. And the 3-0 pitch. Low, ball 4, and Harrelson walks with 4 pitches. With a single and a walk, and it brings up Leon Jones, who walked earlier in this inning. Runners now at first and second, 1 away, and Leon Jones out. Leon with a 5-game inning streak to this ball game. 0 for 1. Struck out his first time up, walked his second. Runners are going, and the pitch is grounded out toward third. Sano takes a 1-hopper, throws to first base wide. But Jones is tagged out as Banks comes off the bag to make the grab and the tag. Good play by Banks, taking the wild throw by York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany, New York. The temperature 79 degrees at 4:01. Time to open a big dividend savings account at Cohoes Savings Bank. Offices in Latham and Cohoes.
Bob Murphy from Wrigley Field. The first pitch to Shamsky is fouled off at strike one. Hart has made one of the 2 outs in this inning. He was called out on strikes in the 4th inning, his first time up. Line to second his other time at bat, so he's 0 for 2. And at 1 strike, the pitch to the left-hand batter swung on and missed. Shamsky with a wild swing and a low curveball that was out of the strike zone. Leading by a score of 8-4. And the next pitch is low in the count, 1 ball and 2 strikes. Hart is the 12th man to bat in this inning. Al Barber checking out the signs. Runners at second and third. It's a fly ball to left field. Coming in is Bill Williams to get under the ball, and he makes the catch. The side is retired. 12 men to the plate. The Mets score 7 runs on 4 hits, 1 error, and 2 men left. And the score, in the middle of the 4th inning, the Mets 8, the Chicago Cubs 4. We're going now to the bottom of the 4th inning. The Mets leading by a score of 8-4. Scoring 7 runs in the top of the 4th. And the first batter for Chicago against Ray Sadecki, who at one time was trailing 4-1 in this ball game, will be Cleo James. Cleo will be followed by Jack Hyde and probably a pinch hitter for the pitcher. Tim Dunnigan is now warming up in the bullpen for Chicago. Cleo bounced back to the mound his first time up in a check swing. Mets have 7 runs on 5 hits. The Cubs have 4 runs on 3 hits. By Sadecki is bunted up the line, but the ball goes foul, and it's strike 1. It was a fine bunt, but the ball spinning after hitting in fair territory bounced foul. Theory about bunting for a base hit: if you can't make it perfect, make sure that it's foul. One strike count on Cleo James. Got 2 runs in the first very quickly. Their first 3 batters getting on. One of the walks, and a double by Beckert and a single by Billy Williams. They added 2 more runs and a 2-run home run by Billy Williams in the third to take a 4-1 lead. Mets had picked up their first run on a home run by Dave Marshall. Now a pitch for ball 1. The count 1 ball and 1 strike. Then the Mets scored 7 runs at the top of the 4th inning to take the lead 8-4. Sadecki back, and the pitch is popped up in foul territory, out of play. One ball, 2 strikes. Sadecki with a record of 5-1 this year. And the left-hander's pitch to Cleo James. High curveball in ball 2. We mentioned earlier, Sadecki has not had command of his pitches. He has thrown an awful lot of high curveballs. Now 2-2. The pitch back to James. And it's hit hard in the hole. Off the glove of Bud Harrelson, a base hit. So the Cubs get their 4th base hit. And it brings up Jack Hyde. Hyde fouled out his first time up. Right-hand batter hitting .268 for the year. And the first pitch hit hard to left field. Leon goes over and goes Sadecki's first delivery. Curveball in the dirt. Good play on it by Jerry Grundy to scoop it up. And the runner holds at second. Ball one count. Sadecki sets and the pitch back to Kessinger. Grounded to third. Taken by Garrett at one hop. He looks the runner back to second base. Fires over to first base to Shamsky. 2 men away. That'll bring up Glenn Beckert, who has doubled and walked and scored 2 runs in his 2 times up. Beckert hitting .288. Right-hand batter. Jack Hyde on at second base. Sadecki with his first pitch. Curveball just low. It's ball one. Sets up again, checks at second, and the pitch back to Beckert. It's hit out to right center. Going over is Agee. He'll get to it, and he makes the catch, and the side is retired. So Ray Sadecki, after giving up a single and a double to his first 2 batters, retires the next 3, and in the inning, the Cubs get 1 run on 2 hits, no errors. The man was left at second. And the score at the end of 4, the Mets 8, the Cubs 5.
You're letting your sideburns grow a little longer this year. Your jacket collar is more European. Your ties are wider. Your shoes are just a little snappier. Well, what about your cigar? Do you smoke as nicely as you dress? Is your cigar in style? Is it modern, slim, long? Is it reasonable in price with lots of taste? Well, the White Owl Diplomat is setting a fashion trend in cigars. Try on our cigar, the White Owl Diplomat. Then try on one of their cigars and take a look in the mirror. To really appreciate our cigar, you have to smoke their cigar. The White Owl Diplomat, our cigar.
The Chicago Cubs bring in Jim Dunnigan, a right-hander, to do the pitching. He is the 4th pitcher to work here today for the Chicago Cubs. The Mets are leading by a score of 8-5, and it'll be Dave Marshall up to lead off. Dunnigan finishes warm-up pitches. There's the throw down to second, and Marshall steps in. He had a home run in the second inning to provide the Mets with their first run. He drew a walk and later scored in the 4th inning. Marshall, the left-hand batter. We remind you that the wind is blowing out here this afternoon at Wrigley Field, and that can be pertinent to the progress of the ball game. Dunnigan takes the sign, and here's the pitch. It's high and away for a ball. 1969, Dunnigan was an outfielder. He's been converted. There's a pitch high for a ball. At San Antonio this year, he pitched 57 2/3 innings. He was 3-2. Gave up 47 hits. Struck out 54. Walked 28. 2.79 his earned run average. Dunnigan. Now the 2-0 pitch, and it's low for a ball. So he's gone behind 3-0 now. This is Dunnigan's 5th appearance this year for the Chicago Cubs. He has a record of 0-2. Last time out against the Cardinals, he worked for 2/3 of an inning, gave up no runs on 1 hit. Pitches in for a call strike at 3-1. Marshall in and waiting, and here's the 3-1 delivery. It's high and away, and it's a walk. That is the 5th walk drawn by the Mets today. Ken Boswell's coming up. He drew a walk to the bases loaded in the 4th inning. The 4th inning when the New York Mets scored 7 runs to come from behind here. They're leading right now by a score of 8-5. The Mets won yesterday's game by a score of 9-5. Pitcher of record is Joe Decker, who started here today for the Cubs. He was charged with the first 5 runs scored by the Mets. Dunnigan sets up. Now the pitch, and it's fired outside for a ball. Hyatt has called time. He goes out to the mound for a word with Dunnigan. We noticed on the bullpen they were warming Dunnigan up. The catcher was wearing a mask, so the presumption is that he serves up a knuckler on occasion. Although last pitch was simply a fastball outside. 1-0, the count to Boswell. First time the Mets have seen Dunnigan. Boswell calls time now to get a little perspiration out of his eyes. Takes the hard hat off. Umpire Andy Olson moves around to see if he's be able to do it all right. He's trying to use the sleeve of his uniform. Appears to be all right. The count is 1 ball and no strikes. Marshall is at first. There's nobody out, and the Mets are batting in the top of the 5th inning. Pitch is outside for a ball. It's 2-0 now to Boswell. Wayne Garrett is waiting on deck. Ernie Banks is holding against the runner at first, and here is a 2-0 delivery. It's in there for a call strike. Boswell was taking. Taking the pitch, he exaggerated his move around as though to move into bunting stance. 2 balls and a strike. Throw over to first base. Marshall's back safely. 2-1 delivery. Swung on and hit in the air to short center field. Becker's going out, and he makes the catch going away. Marshall retreats to first base. Beckert made the catch going out. Center fielder Cleo James would not have been able to make it coming in. 1 away. Wayne Garrett's the batter. He grounded out third to first in the second inning, and on the 3-2 pitch in the 4th, he hit a ball sharply to the glove side of Beckert. It was a double play ball if Beckert had been able to handle it, but in his haste to get into position, he simply knocked it down. So not only did the run score, but Garrett was able to beat the throw to first as well. Garrett's up now with 1 man on, the runner at first. Throw over, not in time. Marshall's back safely. Here's Dunnigan's delivery with a runner going. Swing and a miss. High throw to second is high, and it's a stolen base for Dave Marshall. Marshall to second. It's a strike 1 count to Garrett at the plate. For Marshall, his 4th stolen base of this season. For the Mets, their 69th stolen base of the year as a club. Breaking pitch is low, and it's 1-1. No other afternoon action scheduled today in the Major League, so there are no scores of other games in progress. Everything else scheduled for tonight, and the Yankees and Indians not scheduled. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Jerry Grody is waiting on deck. The Mets 8 and the Chicago Cubs 5. The top half of the 5th inning. Now the 1-2 delivery, and it's high for a ball. 2-2. Garrett just outside the batter's box, waiting to move back in. Now he does. Dave Marshall leads off the bag at second base. Dunnigan's 2-2 pitch is high, so the count runs full at 3-2 now to Wayne Garrett. Garrett just outside the batter's box, waiting to move back in. Now he does. Dave Marshall leads off the bag at second base. hit on the ground to first base. Taken by Banks. He makes the play unassisted. Moving over from second to third, Dave Marshall on the infield out. So there are 2 men out, and Jerry Grody's coming up. Grody had a base hit to drive in 2 runs in the 4th inning. He flied deep to left in the 3rd inning. Had 3 base hits here yesterday. He's a right-hand batter, in and waiting. Bob Sheffing, the general manager of the New York Mets, moving down through the stands at this moment. Here's a pitch that's in for a call strike. He was at one time the field manager of the Chicago Cubs. Now the pitch, and it's in there for strike 2 to Jerry Grody. Two men out and a runner at third. Low and inside, so it's 1 ball and 2 strikes now to Grody, with Ray Sadecki on deck. Here's Dunnigan's delivery. Hit in the air, deep to right field, way back there. Hickman goes back to the edge of the warning track and hauls it down. So the side is out. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, a stolen base, and 1 left. In the middle of the 5th inning, the score is the Mets 8 and the Cubs 5.
When you drive on Michelin X radial tires from Weinberg, a safety belt of steel cord right under the tread acts like a powerful protective shield to keep out glass, nails, and other sharp objects. The belt virtually eliminates punctures. So give yourself real driving peace of mind. Get Michelin X radials. You get great traction and save on gas, too. Michelin X radials are guaranteed for a minimum of 40,000 good tread miles. Weinberg Tires, 935 Central Avenue in Albany, the Capital District's oldest and largest Michelin dealer. Want to save a lot of money on beer and soda? Want to shop quickly while doing it? The Big 3 discount beverage centers sell nothing but beverages. Sell them in volume. You get the savings by 6-pack or case. Fast service direct to your car. No checkout line. Save yourself time and money at the Big 3 Albany Beverage Discount Center at the Sign of the Giant, Wolf Road in Colony. Marty's Discount Beverage, 218 4th Street in Troy. Glenville Beverage, 53 Freeman Bridge Road, Schenectady. The Big 3 open 7 days a week.
WOKO, Son of America time, 23 minutes past 4 o'clock. 79 degrees at the Albany County Airport. Weatherman says fair tonight, low in the 50s.
And now Billy Williams is coming up for the Chicago Cubs. He has driven in he drove in the first 4 Cub runs today. He had a 2-run single in the 1st inning and a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. He has driven in he drove in the first 4 Cub runs today. He had a 2-run single in the 1st inning and a 2-run home run in the 3rd inning. Left-hand batter facing left-hander Ray Sadecki. There's a breaking pitch high for a ball. Sadecki has struck out 1 and walked 3 here today. Into the motion and the pitch. Swung on, and it is a base hit inside the bag at first down the line. And Williams is on his way to second. Marshall up and throwing to stand-up double for Billy Williams, leading off the bottom of the 5th inning. Slammed between Art Shamsky and the bag down the right field line. Billy Williams is 3 for 3 today. Jim Hickman coming up. Hickman's been up twice and flied out to right field both sides. We're getting warm-up action in the Met bullpen. Don Cardwell is up and throwing. Cardwell throwing in the bullpen. Sadecki set. Now the pitch. High and away for a ball. 1-0 to Hickman. He's followed by Ron Santo. The Mets are leading by a score of 8-5. But it's been a struggle for Sadecki all day long. He hasn't been sharp. Here's the 1-0 delivery. breaking pitch. Low and away. He goes behind to Jim Hickman, 2-0. Now sets and checks. Here's a pitch high. 3-0 to Jim Hickman. If he puts him on, it would set up tying run at the plate. The wind is blowing out at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The Mets 8, the Cubs 5. 3-0 delivery, and it's high. Walks him on 4 pitches. Here comes Gil Hodges to the mound. Hickman goes to first. Williams holds at second. Santo is coming up, and he's followed by Banks. Cardwell's throwing in the bullpen. The 4th walk given up today by Sadecki. Hodges arrives at the mound, and the sign goes down for Cardwell. That is all for Ray Sadecki. Don Cardwell is coming in to do the pitching. So Sadecki cannot be the winning pitcher regardless of what happens here. Neither can he be the losing pitcher regardless of what happens here. A starting pitcher must go 5 innings to get a win. The Mets are leading 8-5, and Sadecki's responsibility is for only the 2 runners on base. So he has worked 4 innings and faced 2 men in the 5th. Charged with 5 runs. Gave up 6 hits, struck out 1 and walked 4. Cardwell is coming in to make his 13th appearance of the year, all in relief. He has a record of no wins and 1 loss. Last time out at Cincinnati on June 7th. Cardwell worked the 3rd of an inning in which he gave up 1 run on 2 hits. So it's Cardwell coming on as he takes these warm-up pitches to check us out on the Major League schedule for tonight. Here's Bob Murphy.
All right, Lindsay, tonight at the National League, San Diego plays at Houston. It will be Danny Coon, 6-5, against Jack Billingham, 4-1. The Cardinals play in Pittsburgh. The Cardinals and Pirates split a doubleheader last night. Chuck Taylor pitches tonight for St. Louis against Bob Moose, 6-6. The Dodgers will be in Atlanta. They defeated the Braves last night. Tonight, Bill Singer, 2-2 against rookie Mike McQueen with a record of 0-1. Montreal at Philadelphia, that shapes up as 10 again, 3-5 against Jim Bunning, 5-7. And the Giants are in Cincinnati. Last night, Don Gullett, the 19-year-old rookie left-hander, made his first major league start. The Giants knocked him out in the 3rd as Willie Mays hit 2 home runs, his 16th and 17th. And the Giants went on to win over Cincinnati. So tonight it'll be Mike McCormick against Gary Nolan. Nolan is 7-4. In the American League, the Yankees have the day off. Minnesota plays at Milwaukee tonight. Bert Bly 11 against Bob Boland. Baltimore at Boston. Jim Palmer 10-3 against Ray Culp 5-7. Detroit at Washington. Mickey Lolich and George Brunette are paired up. The White Sox are at Anaheim pitching Jerry Zaneski against Andy Messersmith. Kansas City at Oakland, Dick Chicago, and Chuck Stockton. So that's the action for tonight in the Major League. Right now we're set for action again here in Chicago, and here again is Wednesday.
All right, Bob, it stands up. Runners at first and second. Ernie Banks is on deck. Don Cardwell checks the runners. And here's the pitch. Hit on the ground, foul back of 3rd. It's strike 1. Rich Folkers is up and throwing now in the bullpen for the Mets. He's a left-hander. Santo today has walked and popped out to first base. Cardwell again reads the sign of Jerry Grody. Steps off the rubber. Takes a look at the runners. I get set up again. That pitch is inside for a ball. It's 1-1 now. To Ron Santo. The Mets 8 and the Chicago Cubs 5. But the Cubs with nobody out have runners at first and second here in the bottom half of the 5th inning. Now 1-1 delivery. Swung on and foul back. It's 1-2 now to Ron Santo. Gary Gentry was the Mets starter yesterday. He worked 4 innings. Came out in favor of Tug McGraw, who was
later on relieved by Ron Taylor, who got the win. Mets won yesterday 9-5. Leading at first and second, the 1-2 delivery. Over the top of the head of Santo, who hits the deck. 2-2. Brody flashes the sign again. And here's the pitch. Again, over the top of the head of Santo. He hits the deck again, and the count is full at 3-2. Santo's walking over toward the on-deck circle now. He wants the pine tar rag. Get that pine tar on that side all the way up to the trademark. Williams is the runner at second. Jim Hickman's the runner at first. Cardwell steps off. Now sets up again. This is a payoff pitch, and it's on the way. He walked in. The bases are loaded. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network. WOKO, Albany, New York. Our temperature is 79 degrees at 4:32. Cohoes Savings Bank time, where you earn 5% on savings from day of deposit to day of withdrawal. Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Wrigley Field in Chicago. The tying runs are on board with nobody out, and Ernie Banks is up for the Chicago Cubs. Banks has slid to center and popped to short so far today. Cardwell working straight away, and the pitch onside at ball one. Billy Williams is at third base. Jim Hickman is at second base, and Ron Santo is at first base. For the Mets, Rich Folkers is throwing in the bullpen. The Mets are leading by a score of 8-5, but the Cubs have the bases loaded. Cardwell's pitch inside. He's gone behind 2-0 now to Ernie Banks. Here comes pitching coach Rube Walker out to the mound now. The pitching coach, Rube Walker, is coming out for a word with Cardwell. Third base coach Peanuts Lowry, meanwhile, takes advantage of this opportunity to have a word with Ernie Banks, who is joined by Cleo James, who is the on-deck batter.
stretch, Cardwell's pitch. Inside for a ball. It's the Mets 8 and the Cubs 7. Jackie Hyatt, the catcher, is on deck. Here's a swing, a ground ball to deep short. Taken by Harrelson. He goes to Boswell for the fourth. The tying run crosses the plate. Santos scores, and it's an 8-8 ball game. Lancers fourth from Harrelson to Boswell. Leo James becomes the runner at first with 2 men out. Jackie Hyatt coming up. It's the Mets 8 and the Cubs 8. James gets a run batted in. That run is charged against Cardwell. Hyatt doubled a drive and a run in the bottom of the fourth inning. He's 1 for 2 today. Right-hand batter. Dunnigan's on deck. Cardwell checks James at first base. Here's the pitch. Swung on. It missed at strike 1. Seven runs charged against Sadecki. It can be neither the winner nor the loser. There's a swing and a foul ball to the right side out of play, and the count is 2 strikes. Cubs have scored 3 runs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. But he swings a pretty good bat, and he wasn't bunting on that first pitch. Now again, the delivery swung on. It missed a full cut. It's 1-1. Dunnigan reads the sign of third base coach Peanuts Lowry. Don Kessinger is on deck. Second, 1-1 offering, swung on line into right for a base hit. Leo James is rounding third. He's coming on to score. Jackie Hyatt is rounding third. There's no play at the plate. He scores. Holding at second with a double is Dunnigan, and the Cubs lead by a score of 10-8. before being brought up to the New York Mets, where he's had one previous appearance. On the 10th of June at Houston, he worked for 2 innings, gave up no runs and 1 hit, and was in a 5-3 loss to the Mets. So Folkers has no won or loss record. That's being brought up. He was brought up by the Mets after Cal Kuntz was sold to the Boston Red Sox. He will be facing a switch hitter, Don Kessinger, who will be batting right against the left-hander. Kessinger will be the 8th man to come up here in the 5th inning for the Chicago Cubs, who have battled back. New York Mets at one time led by a score of 8-4, and now they are trailing by a score of 10-8. Cubs and the Mets to play a doubleheader. We'll be on the air at 1:25 p.m. New York time. And the getaway game of the series is on Thursday afternoon. Kessinger walked, lined to right, grounded out third to first. 1 man out. Sets up, checks the runner at second. Here's the pitch, and it's inside for a ball. 1-0. Glenn Beckert is on deck. 1-0 delivery. Swung on and line down the left field line if it stays fair, but it's a foul ball. So it's 1-1 to Kessinger, who comes back. Wants another bat. Apparently broke that one. Jim Dunnigan is the runner at second base. Kessinger working on the handle of the new bat with the pine tar for a moment before coming back up. Count to him at 1 ball and 1 strike. Checks the runner. Deals the pitch. Low and inside. It's 2-1. Folkers again leans in for a side. 2-1 pitch is swung on and popped up back of second base. Agee is coming in. He's there now, and he makes the catch. Dunnigan holds up 2 away. Glenn Beckert, the 9th man to come up here on the bottom of the 5th for the Chicago Cubs. Today he has double, walked, scored 2 runs, lined out to center in the 4th inning. Right-hand batter. Checks and deals. Breaking pitch, hammered on the ground to short. Charged by Harrelson, up with it across the diamond. In time for the out. That retires the side. So it's 5 runs for the Cubs on 4 hits, no errors, and 1 left. The end of 5 full innings of play. The score is the Cubs 10, the Mets 8.
Stop for a moment and ask yourself, of all the gasolines at all the stations in the world, what one gasoline has the highest octane? The answer is Sunoco 260.
Action! Sunoco has the action! 260 action! The action of the world has octane gasoline!
Quite frankly, only a few cars need all the octane of Sunoco 260 strength. So that's where Sunoco's advanced custom blending
the top of the sixth inning. And they'll have Rich Folkers to lead off. He's followed by Agee and Harrelson. Jim Dunnigan is the pitcher for the Chicago Cubs, so that the pitchers of record at this moment are Cardwell on the short side and Dunnigan on the long side. In tomorrow's doubleheader, Tom Seaver will pitch one game for the Mets and Nolan Ryan the other. Bill Hands and Archie Reynolds will be the pitchers for the Cubs. And then on Thursday, Gary Kuzman for the Mets and Ken Holtzman for the Cubs. 5-game series. The Mets won the opener yesterday by a score of 9-5. Folkers is a left-hand batter. That pitch is on away for a ball. In the fifth inning, Dunnigan came in and walked the first man he faced and then retired 3 consecutive batters. This pitch is fired in for a call strike. It's 1-1. There is no other afternoon action scheduled in the major league. With his back to the plate, waiting a moment while Beckert gets some sunglasses out there at second. The umpire, Ed Sudol, out there indicates that Becker's just about ready. Then a little cloud cover move in from time to time, obscuring the sun, which at other times has been shining brightly here in Chicago. Game time temperature was 79 degrees. There's a swing and a miss. 1-2 to Rich Folkers. He took a hefty cut at that. Tommy Agee's over there in the on-deck circle. Dunnigan's pitch fired right down the pipe for a call, strike 3. So there's one away. The Mets batting in the top of the sixth, and Tommy Agee's coming up. He had a base hit to drive and a run in the fourth. He's 1 for 3 today. Dunnigan's delivery. Foul back and out of play. Off the screen, it's strike 1. Is on deck. That pitch is low and off the glove of catcher Jackie Hyde. So it's 1 ball and 1 strike. On base, 1 away. 1-1 delivery. This is low and away. So now Dunnigan goes behind 2-1 to Agee. The Cubs lead by a score of 10-8. The Mets' beginning was the 4th when they got 7 runs. The Cubs' beginning was the 5th when they got 5 runs. Low and away. Dunnigan goes behind 3-1 now to Agee, who looks down to sign that Eddie Yost at third. This is a 3-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. The count is full at 3-2. Takes a look around as he steps back up to the top of the mound. Looks for Hyatt's sign. the payoff pitch. Fouled off and out of play. The count continues at 3-2. Cubs have used 4 pitchers in today's game, and the Mets have used 3. Payoff pitch. Walked in, low and away. Second walk given up by Dunnigan. Here's the Mets a base runner and brings up Bud Harrelson. He's 1 for 2 in a walk. Kept his hitting streak alive at 11 consecutive games with a single in the 4th inning. Switch hitter batting left. Leon Jones moving out of the dugout to the on-deck position now. Here's a throw to first. Agee's back. Dunnigan sets up. Throws over again, and Agee's back again. Looks like Hank Gary throwing down the bullpen. Left-hander, Hank Gary. Warming up for the Cubs. Here's a swing and a foul ball. Back off the screen and out of play. It's strike 1. Ernie Banks at first base is holding against the runner Tommy Agee. Just now rolled back down, and umpire Ken Burkhardt, the crew chief at first, calls down to retrieve the errant baseball. Now we're getting set. Agee leads it first. He's running. Pitches outside. Hyatt throws, and he is out at second base. He went in hit first, but the throw was on the money, and Peckert put the tag on a sliding Tommy Agee. Pitch was well outside. 2 men out, nobody on base, and a 1-1 count to Harrelson. Now the 1-1 delivery. Swung on and foul back. 1-2 to Harrelson. Mets are batting in the top half of the 6th inning, and the Cubs are leading 10-8. Dunnigan's delivery. Breaks high, and it's 2-2. Jim Dunnigan offers, and it is fired high. Full at 3-2. Gary is still throwing in the Cub bullpen. He worked in yesterday's ball game. Delivery, and it's high. It's a walk to Bud Harrelson. Third walk issued by Dunnigan, and it brings up Cleon Jones. Cleon's 0 for 2 in a walk today. Struck out, grounded out third to first, walked and later scored. Scored one of the runs in the big 4th inning when the Mets got 7. Takes his lead at first base. Dunnigan checks him over his shoulder. The pitch to Cleon Jones is in there for a called strike at the knees. It's strike 1. Cleon is discussing the call with umpire Andy Olson. Art Shamsky has moved out on deck. sixth inning, the score is the Cubs 10, the Mets 8. We'll be going here to the bottom of the sixth. Before we do, we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO Albany. It's 79 degrees at 1 minute before 5. Cohoes Savings Bank time. Cohoes Savings Bank, where you earned 5% on savings from day of deposit to day of withdrawal.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Bob Murphy and Ralph Kiner at Wrigley Field in Chicago. Rich Folkers is working in relief for the New York Mets, and he'll be facing left-hand batter Billy Williams, who's gone 3 for 3 here today. Williams has had a single, a double, a home run. He's batted in 4 runs and scored 2 himself. The Cubs are leading by a score of 10-8. There's a swing and a miss. It's strike one. Jim Hickman is the on-deck batter. Ray Sadecki started today for the Mets, followed by Don Cardwell and now it's Rich Folkers. Cardwell's the pitcher of record on the short side of the 10-8 score. Breaking pitch, line in the right. That's the 4th hit today. Paul Williams is taken by Marshall, and here is the throw coming in off line, and it's a double for Billy Williams. Williams has had a single, 2 doubles, and a home run. Jim Hickman's the batter. Slide to right, walked and later scored. Sets up. Here's a pitch hit on the ground to short. Harrelson can't handle it. He bobbles it, has no play. And Hickman's on at first. Williams holding it second on the ground ball to short. And Sanzo will be coming up. And Hera charged against Harrelson at shortstop on the ground ball. The Cubs now have runners at first and second. They're leading by a score of 10-8. Ernie Banks is on deck. Pitch is in for a call strike. Folkers spent practically all of last year in the military service. Breaking pitch is fouled off. It's 0-2. Billy Williams is the runner at second, and Jim Hickman is at first. Now the pitch to Santo. Inside. It's 1-2. Goes high and away. It's ball one. Leo James is on deck. The Cubs 10, the Mets 8. Again, the runners lead. Folkers pitch swung on and fouled off to the right side into the Cincinnati. it out again. And he does. 1-1 pitch to Banks. Breaks high, and it's 2-1. Outfield defense swung around to left, playing the veteran Ernie Banks to pull the ball. Here's a 2-1 delivery, and it's high and away. Focus has gone behind, 3 balls and a strike. Sadecki walked 4 today. Cardwell walked 1. 3-1 delivery. Inside, he walked him, and the bases are loaded. That brings up Cleo James. We get into a 4th play in the 5th inning to drive in what was at that time the tying run. He had a ground single to left in the 4th inning. He scored 2 runs today, and officially he's 1 for 3.
Gentlemen, the state attendance figure, 28,118. 28118. Total in the house.
I am wishing for my wings. It is high time that I was searching for the natural thing.
At Rheingold, we brew beer with the natural things.
Now we go to the 7th inning. Chicago leading by a score of 10-8. And Art Shamsky faces Jim Dunnigan. Art has lined out to second, been called out on strikes, and flied to left, nothing for 3. Big Jim Dunnigan, a hard-throwing right-hander. And a grounder hit foul down toward Yogi Berra. Art Shamsky hitting at .316. New York 8 runs on 5 hits. They scored 7 runs on 4 hits, aided by 4 walks and an error back in the 4th inning. At the time, they went in front 8-4. The Cubs have, however, rallied and now lead 10-8. Off the outside corner, 1 ball, 1 strike. Jim Dunnigan, in 2 innings of relief, has not given up a base hit. Now here's the pitch on the way. Fouled on a check swing. 1 ball and 2 strikes. We will be on the air at 1:30 tomorrow with a doubleheader. Don Seaver seeking his 11th win in 1 game. Nolan Ryan trying for number 5 in the other. Now Dunnigan getting his sign from Jack Hyatt. His 1-2 delivery. Low inside. It's 2-2. It has been a very rapid transition for Jim Dunnigan. Last year, as a slugger, he played a principal role in the success of the Tacoma Cubs in the Pacific Coast League. Now the 2-2 delivery. Slow ground ball on the right side of the diamond. Banks goes after it. Dunnigan is over to cover in time. In the 7th inning, and the batter coming up, Dave Marshall. Dave has been up 3 times and on base all 3. Did a solo home run in the 2nd inning. It was hit to the opposite field in the left center. And since then, twice has walked. Now Dunnigan out of his windup. The pitch is inside and low. It's ball 1. Scored 5 runs off the Cubs starter, Joe Decker, and added 3 more off big Jim Colbert. They have done nothing so far with Dunnigan. And the pitch is inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Ken Boswell waiting on deck. Delivery. Inside, ball 3. Count goes to 3-0 on Dave Marshall. He's away from drawing his 3rd walk in a row. Count goes to 3-0 on Dave Marshall. He's away away from drawing his third walk in a row. We have had a lot of walks in today's game. 3-0 pitch, call strike, 3-1. Now the pitch on the way, and it's over. The call strike, 3-2. Jim Dunnigan came on to pitch at the top of the fifth inning. The Cubs scored 5 in the last half of the fifth inning, so he's the pitcher of record. Low, ball 4. Marshall has his third, a walk in a row. That's the fourth walk by Jim Dunnigan. The Mets now have drawn 8 walks in the ballgame. Kenny Boswell has flied to right, reached on a walk, popped to second. So Boswell is 0 for 2 as he steps in against Dunnigan. Kenny hitting at 273. Now Phil Regan and Hank Aguirre are getting up in the Cub bullpen. Fastball, a strike on the outside corner. Hank Aguirre and Phil Regan are both warming up. Cubs with a 2-run lead now, and Leo will go all out to try and protect it. Ground ball on the right side of the diamond. Beckert up with it, throws the second walk. Back to first, double play. 4-6-3, double play. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. 7th inning stretch time for the Cubs then, in the middle of the 7th. Cubs 10 and the New York Mets 8. There, you're having problems deciding on a suitable gift for an up-and-coming occasion? Let us solve your dilemma with Mets gift certificates. They're a sense to go over real big with both youngsters and adults alike, and they may be exchanged for tickets to any home game at Shea Stadium. The certificates are priced at $4 for a box seat, $3 for a reserve seat. Take our word for it, they'll make an ideal birthday, confirmation, or graduation gift. So place your order now by writing the ticket manager at Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York. The zip code is 11368. In the last of the 7th inning, the Chicago Cubs will have their catcher, Jack Hyatt, leading off, followed by the pitcher Jim Dunnigan, and then the leadoff batter Don Kessinger. Not only has Dunnigan worked 3 hitless innings in relief, but he slashed a hard double to right center field that broke the tie and put Chicago in front by a score of 10-8. Left on base. And Jack Hyatt leads off the last of the 7th. Hyatt has 2 for 3, a single and a double. Jack Hyatt, a right-hand batter, hitting at 279. Here's the pitch by Rich Folkers. Grounder hit down to third, fielded deep behind the bag by Garrett. Long throw, he's out at first base. Good play by Wayne Garrett. He went deep behind the bag and practically on the line to get the ground ball. Now Jim Dunnigan coming up. The outfielder turned pitcher. Looked like an outfielder when he doubled to right center field with a hard line drive to put Chicago in front. He is powerfully built. He became a full-time pitcher in the Arizona Instructional League after last season. Was pitching in San Antonio when the Cubs brought him up. Here's the pitch on the way by Rich Folkers, and it's in for a strike at the knees. Chicago leading 10-8, bottom half of the 7th. Cubs had the early lead today. They were in front 4-1 at the end of 3. Now swing and a miss, strike 2. Then the the Mets exploded, scoring 7 runs in the 4th inning to go in front 8-4. The Cubs picked up a single run and then got 5 runs in the 5th inning. To regain the lead, they're out in front 10-8. Now Folkers over the head, around comes the arm. Curve is in, strike 3 call. For Rich Folkers, his second strikeout. 2 outs and nobody on. Now the leadoff batter, Don Kessinger. Kessinger has reached on a walk and scored a run. Otherwise, line to right, bounced to third, and skied to center 0 for 3. This is game 2 of the big 5-game series. Doubleheader tomorrow, single game Thursday. Then for the Mets on to Montreal for the weekend. And they play the Pirates at Shea Stadium next Monday night. The Mets will play the Pirates Monday night and Tuesday night and Wednesday afternoon. They'll spend July 4th a weekend in Philadelphia and then return for a good homestand at Shea Stadium. Foul ball hit back toward the crowd, strike 1. This is the only day game in the major leagues. Full slate of action tonight of the National League and in the American League, except the New York Yankees and Cleveland Indians have the day off. 23-year-old Rich Folkers making his second appearance for the New York Mets. Rich was 4-0 at Tidewater playing for Charlie Hiller. Now the pitch by the young left-hander. Ground ball whacked to short. Big hop taken by Harrelson. And the throw to Shamsky, the side is out. So Folkers gets the Cubs 1-2-3 in the 7th. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. At the end of 7 here at Wrigley Field, the Chicago Cubs 10 and the New York Mets 8.
Whitbeck Motors, home of the Duster. This summer, leave the pack. Your Duster is waiting for you at Whitbeck's Autorama, your authorized Plymouth, Chrysler, and Imperial dealer. Your Duster in your color and at your price. Now's the time to learn why no one walks from Whitbeck, where it's always... At Whitbeck Motors, 6th Avenue, Troy. When you're in the hospital, you shouldn't have to worry about bills piling up. Your only worry should be about getting well. You should be able to simply lie there with your radio on and hum along with us. Think about it.
It's 20 minutes past 5 o'clock. It's 79 degrees in the Capital District. You're listening to Mets baseball action on WOKO.
As we go to the 8th inning, Ron Taylor starts warming up at the bullpen with the bottom third of the order coming up in the top half of the 8th inning. Big Jim Dunnigan, converted outfielder, pitching in relief for the Cubs, and he has 3 hitless innings to his credit. Wayne Garrett and Jerry Grody come up, then the pitcher is scheduled up. And the pitch is taken high, ball 1. Dunnigan, a hard thrower, has had good stuff. He has been a bit wild. He's walked 4 men. Outside and high, 2-0 to Wayne Garrett. Wayne is 0 for 3 this afternoon. Was on base once as the result of an error and knocked a run in. Garrett hitting .284. And the pitch by Jim Dunnigan. Outside, ball 3, 3-0. That's trying to get a rally going. Bill Regan stays warm in the Cub bullpen. Now the pitch is over, a strike, 3-1. Yogi Berra coaching at first base, Eddie Yost at third. 3-1 delivery, it's high, ball 4. The Mets have a base runner as Garrett draws a walk. That's 5 walks by Jim Dunnigan. Jerry Grody has 1 for 3. He singled 2 runs in during the 7-run 4th inning. let's not have it another way. The people at Rheingold ask you to keep America beautiful. Now we have a gathering at the mound as the infielders collect around Jim Dunnigan. Big Jim Dunnigan came to the Cubs by way of Iowa State. Now Grody cocks the bat. And the pitch by Dunnigan way inside. It almost winged him. He had to jump back. 1 ball and no strikes. Don Clendenin has come out on deck. He'll be hitting for Rich Folkers. Clendenin won the game yesterday with a bench 3-run homer. And the pitch. Inside and high, ball 2. That's probably 6-2 and even, but if he walks Grody, Phil Regan will be in the ballgame. Pitching coach Joe Becker is on his way to the mound right now.
Wouldn't be a bit surprised, Bob. That might have been his last pitch.
Very well could be. Leo will go all out to try and guard this 2-run lead. He has the man who throws the country sinkers, Phil Regan, down in the bullpen. Dunnigan has not given up a hit, but he has walked 5 and has gone behind Grody 2-0. Mets have had only 5 hits today. With those 5 hits, the 8 of walks, they've scored 8 runs. Biggest day the Mets ever had. They had right here at Wrigley Field in Chicago. They scored 19 runs. And Phil Regan will come in. So Jim Dunnigan is leaving the ball game after pitching 3 innings. And at the moment he has allowed no runs and no hits. However, he walked 5. Struck out 1. And is responsible for Wayne Garrett, the runner on first, and should Jerry Grody walk, which is unlikely with Regan coming in, the walk would be charged to Jim Dunnigan. Regan rarely walks anybody. For Phil Regan, this will be his 32nd appearance. It's a lot of appearances with the season not yet half old. Phil Regan has won 4 and lost 3. He had 2 saves in the series in New York. The Cubs won the series 3 games to 1. He saved a game for Fergie Jenkins and saved a game for Bill Hand. He has a lifetime record against the New York Mets of 7 wins and no losses. This is the only day game in the Major League. All of the other action will take place tonight. Mets will open a good homestand at Shea Stadium on the 6th of July. Playing the St. Louis Cardinals on Monday night, July the 6th, Tuesday night, July the 7th, and Wednesday afternoon, July the 8th. Then a 4-day series against Montreal. Thursday night, the 9th of July, Friday night, the 10th, Saturday night, the 11th, and Sunday afternoon, the 12th. So the Cardinals and the Expos come to Shea Stadium right after the 4th of July weekend. Now Gil Hodges is changing, and Mike Jorgensen will come to bat with a count of 2-0. Jorgensen will be hitting for Jerry Grody. Pitcher used by Leo DeRozier. The veteran right-hander has won 4 and lost 3, all in relief. Now here we go. The pitch fouled against the leg of Mike Jorgensen. No play. Don Clendenin is in the on-deck circle. The bat for Rich Folkers, and Ron Taylor is in the bullpen. They've won 8 of their last 11, and they're trying to pull this one out. Now Regan off the stretch. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's outside ball 3. The count is 3-1. Delivery. Fly ball into right field. Jim Hickman is under it. He makes the catch. Oh, well hit by Jorgensen. But playable for Jim Hickman on the edge of the warning track. Now Don Clendenon bats for Rich Folkers. Clendenon hit a 3-run homer as a pinch hitter to win the game yesterday. Don hitting an even 300 with 7 home runs and 24 runs batted in. Bill Regan has worked 44 innings in relief this year. Walked 18 men. Fouled and back against the catcher. One out and one on, top of the 8th inning, 10-8 Chicago. Tommy Agee waits on deck. Now Regan up in pitching position, delivers, and a grounder hit foul back toward the Cub dugout behind third base. This is now a 3-hour ballgame. Clendenon with real good power, and the Cubs flying very deep and around the left in the outfield. Ron Santo deep behind third and guarding the line against the extra base hit. The 2-strike pitch, low and outside ball 1. Clendenon had a 2-strike pitch off Hank Aguirre yesterday for that game-winning 3-run pinch homer. Regan getting his sign from Jack Hyatt. Wayne Garrett on first, 1 out. Now the pitch. And a ground ball back to the mound, picked up by Regan, thrown to second, 1, and on to first, not in time. They get the lead runner at second, Wayne Garrett. Hard grounder right back to the mound. Bobble for just a moment, cost him the double play. Right here we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
WOKO, Albany, New York. It's 79 degrees at 5:30. The time to look into a low-cost savings bank life insurance plan at Cohoes Savings Bank.
Bob Murphy with Ralph Kiner and Lindsey Nelson. We're in the 8th inning at Chicago, and the Cubs have a 2-run lead, 10-8. Has driven 22 runs in the last 20 ball games. He has hit 9 home runs in the month of June. Needs one more to tie the club record. Swing and a miss by Agee, 1-1. Don Clendenon on first base. And 2 men away. Bill Regan already has 9 saves to his credit this year. And a slow ground ball down the third baseline is going to go foul. No play. If the ball been fair, it would have been an infield hit for Tommy Agee. The Cub bullpen has had 12 saves this year, and Phil Regan has 9 of the 12. Count 1 ball and 2 strikes on Agee. They play Tommy deep and around the left of the outfield. Low outside, it's 2-2. Crowd of 28,000 for the game this afternoon. The Mets will have a new pitcher, Ron Taylor in the game in the last of the eighth. Low and outside edge, he lays off, and the count goes full now, 3-2. Now Yogi Berra cautioning Don Clendenin. Don will be trying to get as much lead as possible. He'll be running on the 3-2 delivery with 2 men down. Now Phil Regan has his sign. Clendenin edging away. He's running. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Phil Regan comes out of the bullpen to stop the Mets. In the eighth inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 left. In the middle of the eighth inning, the Chicago Cubs 10 and the New York Mets 8.
Night time is the right time. Your time and my time. Be sure and stop in and see me, won't you? That's TF, in addition to the sound of American music. Tonight from 7 till midnight. Here, you stop in and see us. We'll have things to say and music to play. And you can kind of put your feet up and on lax and remain unanimous with us, won't you? The Phil Scott program in progress tonight. 7 till midnight on the Sound of America. WOKO right here in Albany, of course. Heard this tune? Blue Cross Blue Shield identification card, America's #1 Get Well card. Remember,
we have a new battery in the game for the New York Mets in the last of the eighth inning. Ron Taylor is the pitcher. Duffy Dyer goes behind the plate. Ron turned in a strong relief effort in yesterday's win and was the winning pitcher. For Ron Taylor, this will be his 26th appearance. And Ron has 8 saves to his credit. Mets bullpen has saved 13 games this year. Taylor has 8 of the 13. Ron 2-3 on the year. This is his 26th appearance. Yesterday's game, he worked 2 2/3 innings, allowed no runs, 3 hits. Now the last of the eighth inning, and Glenn Beckert, the second baseman, is up against Ron Taylor. And he hits one foul down the right field line, back into the crowd. A rewarding relief job turned in by the young rookie left-hander, Rich Folkers. In 2 2/3 innings, he allowed no runs, only 1 hit. Walked 1 and struck out 2. High twisting foul fly off to the right. Shamsky goes over hoping for a play, but it's in the crowd. Hart jammed his foot against the wall, trying to get a play on this foul ball. Nobody on, nobody out. Last of the eighth inning, Cubs in front by 2 runs. Each team had a big inning today. The Mets had a 7-run inning, the Cubs a 5-run inning. Breaking ball by Ron Taylor is outside, 1-2. Glenn Beckert has 1 for 3, a first-inning double. He also has reached on a walk. Beckert hitting at 285. A high pop foul, back toward the crowd, no play. Here's the pitch thrown to Beckert, and again he whacks it foul. Duffy Dyer back for a look, but the ball is in the crowd. Billy Williams on deck, and then Jim Hickman. This has been a fabulous day for Billy Williams. A single, 2 doubles, and a home run. 4 runs batted in. Billy Williams now has upped his RBI total on the year to 60. 4th high in the National League. Pitching 1-2. A half swing. Ball is low, and the count is even 2-2. Tony Perez of the Reds leading the National League and the majors in RBIs. He has 74. A high pop-up to the infield is playable. Garrett coming down the line toward home. And he grabs it for the out. Now Billy Williams comes up trying to make it 5 for 5. Perez, the league leader in RBIs, with 74. Johnny Bench of Cincinnati and Henry Aaron of the Braves each have 64. And Billy Williams is now fourth with a total of 60. Wind up of the pitch by Ron Taylor, a fastball just outside ball one. In the first inning today, Billy Williams singled 2 runs in. In the third inning, after a walk to Glenn Beckert, he hit a 2-run homer. Here's the pitch on the way, swung on and foul hit. Billy Williams has played 1,046 consecutive games. He has not missed a ball game since 1963. Here's the 1-1 delivery. Hit high in the air, a pop fly to short left field. In comes Leon Jones. He taps the glove and makes the catch. Well, Billy Williams finally retired after getting 4 for 4. And it brings up funny Jim Hickman. Hickman 0 for 3 officially. Reached on a walk and scored a run in the 5-run 5th inning. The pitchers of record are Jim Dunnigan and Don Cardwell. Now the pitch to Jim Hickman. He lays off and it's ball 1. In the 9th inning, the Mets will have Bud Harrelson leading off against Phil Regan. Grounder, Hammer to third, handled by Garrett. He strides the long throw. Plenty of time to retire the side. Oh, Ron Taylor comes in to get the Cubs in order in the 8th inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, none left. Now, at the end of 8 here in Chicago, the Chicago Cubs 10 and the New York Mets 8.
Weinberg Tires has the Michelin X Radio tire, the world's first radio featuring a safety belt of steel wrapped around each tire right under the tread. Virtually eliminates punctures and blowouts. Plus, you get solid driving control, steady braking power, great gas mileage. And Michelin X radios are guaranteed for a minimum of 40,000 good tread miles. Stop into Weinberg Tires today, and we'll show you why it pays to ride number 1. Weinberg Tires, 935 Central Avenue, Albany, the Capital District's oldest and largest Michelin dealer.
Say, what is that? What does it look like? Well, it looks like the beginning of a giant jar of peanut butter. Hey, it looks like fun.
Sure, blowing up a giant jar of peanut butter can be fun. Or how about a gargantuous tube of toothpaste? You'll find these and many other gifts and novelties for family fun at Schatz Stationery on the lower level of Colony Center.
Hey, what are you doing? I'm blowing up my mother-in-law. I'm gonna blow up my mother-in-law.
As we go to the 9th inning, Johnny Collison will replace Jim Hickman in right field. That's 2 runs shy as they hit against Phil Regan in the 9th. Regan, the 5th hurler, used by Leo DeRozier. And Bud Harrelson leading off of the 9th inning, looks at a pitch knee high for a strike. This afternoon's game, Bud has 1 for 2 and has walked twice. Harrelson has been on base 3 times out of 4. Bud is hitting .295. Next pitch by Phil Regan, foul, back to the screen. The count is strike 2. delivery by Regan. Misses outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. New York 8 runs on 5 hits. The Chicago Cubs 10 runs on 9 hits. Make that 10 hits. Now the 1-2 pitch. It's down in the dirt, handled by Jack Hyatt. The count evens out at 2-2. Well, Jim Dunnigan is the pitcher of record on the winning side if the Cubs protect their lead. He also would have the distinction of driving the winning runs home. The 2-2 delivery, high, ball 3. Dunnigan, a converted outfielder, double to right center off Don Cardwell, driving 2 runs in. The last 2 driven across by the Cubs. 3-2 delivery by Regan. Inside, ball 4. Harrelson is on. That's his 3rd walk of the game. Leon Jones coming up. Leon 0 for 3 with a walk. Mets have drawn 10 walks in this ballgame. Waiting on deck. Hank Aguirre gets up in the Cub bullpen. Leo wants to have him ready if he needs to get a left-hand hitter out. Ground ball hit hard to short. Kessinger flips the ball to second 1 on the first. Not in time. Jones just beat the throw to avoid a double play. That was a perfect double play ball. A very hard hit grounder. But it was bobbled for a moment by Kessinger, and it cost him the chance to get 2. Relies on sinkers. The batters will hit the ball on the ground a great deal when he's in a game. Now Art Shamsky comes up. Art has gone 0 for 4 this afternoon, dropping his batting average to .315. He lays off. It's low, ball 1. Regan keeps the ball down. On more than one occasion, Regan has been accused of throwing spitters. Now the veteran right-hander's pitch, and a line drive base hit to left field by Art Shamsky. The tying runs are on. Leon Jones will stop at second. Dave Marshall will be coming up. Al Weiss comes in the game to run for Shamsky. So Al Weiss runs for Art Shamsky. The hitter is Dave Marshall. Now Dave has been up 4 times today and on base all 4. He hit a solo home run his first time up to left center field. And since then has drawn 3 straight walks. Marshall hitting at .278. Now with 1 away in the 9th inning, the tying runs are on. Now Regan up in pitching position, delivers, fouled, back toward the crowd, no play. The 6th hit in the game for the New York Mets. The runners lead from first and second. The pitch is low. It's 1 ball and 1 strike to Dave Marshall. Ken Boswell is on deck, and then Wayne Garrett. Checks the runners. Here's his pitch. And a ground ball down to first base, taken by Banks. The runners advance. Marshall retired on the unassisted play by Banks. 2 men away. And it's up to Kenny Boswell. Leon Jones crossing to third. And Al Weiss to second. 2 away in the 9th. New York 2 runs behind. The batter, Ken Boswell. Boswell has slide to right, walked, popped up, and hit into a double play. So Kenny is 0 for 3. Boswell hitting .271. Cal Weiss, the runner on second, runs well. Base hit to right field in this spot. It would be interesting because Johnny Callison is now playing right field, and he has one of the great arms in baseball. He is playing fairly deep, though. Now Regan works off the stretch. Here's the pitch on the way. Grounded foul. Taken by Yogi Berra on the coaching lines at first. Count to Ken Boswell. Now Regan into the stretch. Here's the pitch. And a ground ball hit toward the middle. Into center field, a base hit. And the ball game will be tied up. Jones scores and Rice scores. The Mets tied up at the top of the ninth inning. On a single to center field by Ken Boswell. For Boswell, his 22nd and 23rd runs batted in. Garrett will be the batter. A brand new ball game is tied 10-10 in the ninth inning. Kenny Boswell now has 3 RBIs today. The hitter is Wayne Garrett. Wayne has 1. Here's the pitch on the way, and it's a high fly ball to left center field. Moving over the left fielder, Billy Williams, and he makes the catch. So the side is out of the ninth inning. The Mets rally, scoring 2 runs to tie it up. 2 runs. There were 2 hits. No errors. 1 left on. So, in the middle of the ninth inning at Wrigley Field, it's now the New York Mets 10, the Chicago Cubs 10.
Hello, everyone. I'm Johnny Mack. On my show, from noon to 3 on WOKO, I feature Tammy Wynette. Glenn Campbell. Sound of America. Is there a better reason to listen?
Go ahead. Surprise her. She won't mind. She'll shout bravo as you turn into the area's most unusual and exciting restaurant and night spot, the Golden Fox. Dining in the romantic atmosphere of old Spain, the elegance of intimate music, and the exciting moods of the flamenco, the Golden Fox is open daily except Sunday until 2 a.m. The Golden Fox, across from the Colony Center.
Eddie Cranepool now playing first base. On the way to Santo, a strike at the knees of the outside corner. Santo steps out objecting to the call by Andy Olson. Ernie Banksy on deck batter, and then Cleo James. strike delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. First strikeout for Ron Taylor, and he got Sandel, a good hitter, on 3 pitches. Ernie Banks coming up. Ernie has 1 for 3 and a walk. He singled at 2 runs across the plate. That 5-run Chicago Cubs fifth inning. High pop foul. Duffy Dyer has a play. He gets rid of the mask. He's under it, and he makes the catch. So Banks fouls out to Duffy Dyer. Now there are 2 away, and the center fielder, Cleo James, comes up. Jim McAndrew is going to get up in the Mets bullpen. Let's have the bottom part of the order scheduled to hit if we go to the 10th inning. And so Gil Hodges has Jim McAndrew warming up. Here's the pitch on the way to Cleo James. If it's fouled, right straight back into the screen. McAndrew will probably open the Montreal series on Friday night. Next pitch by Ron Taylor. High, twisting pop foul. Coming over, Eddie Kranepool. He's under it. Makes the catch. Ron Taylor gets the Cubs 1, 2, 3. And we'll be going to extra innings. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and none left on. And at the end of 9 at Wrigley Field in Chicago, the New York Mets 10, the Chicago Cubs 10.
Hello, Mr. Phelps. Here is your mission. Find out why more people in Albany are listening to the Johnny K. All-Night Show. He's heard at 12 midnight, Monday through Saturday. Watch out for his accomplices, for there are several. This tape will self-destruct in 10 seconds. Good luck, Jim. Remember, should any of you or your force be caught by the Johnny K. All-Night Show, you will...
Fernapco has big hot weather specials for you. Cool comfort all summer long with famous Fetters air conditioners now at Fernapco's low warehouse direct prices. Models range from 5,000 to 32,500 BTUs capacity. Fetters air conditioners are quiet and dependable. 5,000 BTU 2-speed air conditioner is just $99.90 at Fernapco, 4 Interstate Avenue, just off Central Avenue, Albany, a mile east of Colony Center, where you always get free local delivery. Open Monday, Thursday, and Friday till 9, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Saturday 10 to 5.
Well, it's the 10th inning in Chicago. The Mets were down 2 runs coming to the 9th inning. But Ken Boswell singled to center, driving home the tying run. Ron Taylor set the Cubs down 1, 2, 3 in the bottom half of the 9th. And now we go to the 10th. And to pick up the action for you, here's Ralph Kiner.
Okay, Bob Murphy, and once again, hi, everybody. Ron Swoboda will be batting for the pitcher, Ron Taylor. Ron working 2 perfect innings. Ron working 2 innings, which he pitched to 6 batters. He struck out 1 of the 6, and in the 9th inning, he retired the Cubs on 6 pitches. Bill Regan pitching for Chicago. And he'll be pitching to Ron Swoboda. Ron, a right-hand batter, will be followed by Duffy Dyer in the batting order. And then Tommy Agee. Swoboda with 3 home runs, 21 runs batted in, hitting .223. And the first pitch is in for a ball strike. In the 8th inning, the Mets brought in a new battery in the ballgame, and they switched the batting position. Putting the pitcher in the 8th batting spot and the catcher in the 9th. Regan back, a hard swing and a miss, and a fastball, strike 2. Boswell drove in the tying run to the single through the middle with 2 men out. It extended his hitting streak to 6 consecutive games. Now at 2 strikes, the pitch by Regan. It is right over the head of Ron Swoboda as he ducks under the ball going back to the backstop. So they count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Earlier in the ballgame, Tommy Agee was knocked flat in his back by a pitch that went over the top of his head. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Regan back. Pitch is line to left wall, played by Cleo James. The throw to second base is behind the second baseman and taken by Ernie Banks as he came down the line to back up the play. So a lead-off two-base hit by Ron Swoboda as a pinch hitter after the knockdown pitch by Bill Regan. And that'll bring up the catcher, Duffy Dyer. Once again, Hank Aguirre starting to throw in the bullpen for the Cubs. Let's have Jim McAndrew warming up in the bullpen. He'll be the new pitcher of the ball game when we go to the bottom of the 10th inning. Duffy Dyer batting for the first time brings an average of 188 to the plate. He came in the ball game when Jerry Grody was taken out for a pinch hitter. When Regan came in the game. Regan came in the game with a count 2 balls, no strikes. First pitch to Dyer is bunted on and missed. It's strike 1. Ball game, the score 10-10. The Mets have a runner at second base with no one out. We're in the top of the 10th inning. Ernie Banks very close at first base. Sano in a little bit at third. The pitch to the plate is taken outside. Dyer taking the pitch away, and it's 1 ball and 1 strike. Early in the ball game, the Cubs led 2-0, then 2-1, then 4-1. The Mets got 7 to take the lead 8-4. The Cubs made it 8-5, then got 5 to take the lead 10-8. The Mets got 2 in the 9th to make it 10-10. Next pitch is high. Again, Dyer in bunting position. It's 2 balls, 1 strike. Big play of the ball game was with runners at first and second base. A ground ball hit down to Ernie Banks by Dave Marshall, and Ernie did not throw to second base. He took the easy out at first, and the runners moved up. That put the tying run at second, and then Boswell's base hit tied it up. Next pitch, one at foul. They got 2 balls and 2 strikes. So Dyer now with a 2-2 count. He checks with Eddie Yost to see whether or not he'll be bunting. Ron Swoboda at second. Lead-off double. Regan in a set position. And the pitch does not come off as Regan breaks off the pitching rubber with his foot, back foot, stepping backwards, losing contact. Time called. Now he sets up again. And the pitch. It is low, ball 3, a full count to Duffy Dyer. The on-deck batter, Tommy Agee. Mets didn't get a base hit in the 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th inning. Then got 2 runs and 2 hits in the 9th. 3 balls, 2 strikes. And time call as the ball gets away in the bullpen. Now time back in. Regan sets up and the 3-2 pitch. It is hit the deep center field. Going back is the center fielder, Cleon James. Is going. It is gone. So Duffy Dyer with a 2-run home run to center field, and the Mets take the lead by a score 12-10. That ball just going in, but far enough over the 400-foot sign, and the Mets lead 12-10. Tommy Agee coming up, and we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO, Albany. The temperature 80 degrees at 1 minute past 6 o'clock. Time to open a big dividend savings account at Cohoes Savings Bank offices in Latham and Cohoes.
And now the first pitch to Tommy Agee by Regan. It's high, ball 1. This is Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Wrigley Field in Chicago. And what a ball game this has been. That home run by Duffy Dyer, his first this year. Next pitch to Agee is grounded out to shortstop. Kessinger takes it deep at short, throws to first base for the out. 1 away in the top of the 10th. The Mets leading 12-10. It brings up Bud Harrelson. Bud worked out a walk in the 3-2 pitches last time up. And it started a 2-run rally for the Mets that saw them tied up in the 9th inning. They got the 2 runs that tied it up with 2 men out in the 9th. Harrelson with a base hit in the game has extended his hitting streak to 11 consecutive ball games. And the first pitch by Regan, it's in for a call strike. Duffy Dyer, his fourth in the major league. One strike pitch, and it puts Harrelson on the ground. High inside fastball. It's 1-1. Last year, Duffy Dyer, in a pinch hitting role on the first game of the season, hit a home run. Mets never got another home run. There's a ground ball hit to short, backhanded by Gettinger. Long throw to first in time for the out. 2 men away. The Mets never got another pinch hit home run until yesterday, when Don Clendenin had a 3-run pinch hit home run, and it won the ball game. Now Cleon Jones coming up. Cleon has no hits and 4 times up in this ball game. He brought a 5-game inning streak to the ball game. Leon being played straight away by Cub outfield. First pitch, a slider low and away, ball 1. Leon 3 for 4 yesterday, so he's 3 for 8 in the series. Mets leading 12-10 on a 2-run home run by Duffy Dyer here in the 10th inning. Pitch back, a curve, and it's outside. 2 balls, no strikes. And Regan now checking out the signs, the windup, and 2-0 pitch. In for a call strike. Let's now have 12 runs on 9 base hits. The Cubs have 10 runs on 10 hits. Mets have had 10 base on balls in this ball game. 2-1 pitch, taken low and away. 3 balls, 1 strike for Cleon Jones. Mets started the action today, 2.5 games back of Chicago. Now at 3-1. Leon grounds 1 to third. Sano backs up on it. Fields it, throws to first base inside the time. But in the inning, the Mets take the lead, scoring 2 runs on 2 hits. A 2-run home run by Duffy Dyer. No errors and no one left on base. And the score, as we go to the bottom of the 10th inning, the Mets 12, the Chicago Cubs 10.
Having trouble with your Father's Day or graduation gift? Lafayette Radio has some ideas for you. Imagine giving a complete car stereo system with 2 speakers for only $39.95. Or maybe a pair of 7x35 binoculars for only $16.95. But if police calls interest your man, the Guardian 5000 5-band AM/FM shortwave police radio, yours for only $54.95. Remember that Lafayette Radio is your stereo tape and tape recorder headquarters. 8-track stereo tapes are only $5.89 at Lafayette Radio. With over 5,000 cartridges in stock, selection is guaranteed. So shop Lafayette Radio today and save. Lafayette Radio in Albany, Schenectady, Glens Falls, and Pittsfield.
We're moving to the bottom of the 10th inning, and the Mets leading by a score of 12-10. On the mound now for the Mets, Jim McAndrew replacing Ron Taylor, who went out for a pinch hitter, Ron Swoboda. Taylor worked 2 innings and pitched to 6 batters, got them all. And now Jim McAndrew to pitch to Jimmy Hall as his first batter. Jimmy Hall batting for the catcher, Jack Hyatt. Jack had had 2 hits and 4 times up. Hall, a left-hand batter, batting .097 for the year. He's had 3 hits and 31 times up. On deck is Willie Smith. He'll be batting for the pitcher, Phil Regan. Mets leading by 2, 12-10. Doug McGraw now throwing in the bullpen for the Mets. And McAndrew's first pitch. Swung on and missed, strike 1. Jim was scheduled to be a starting pitcher in this 5-game series, but the rainout with the Phillies on Sunday pushed him out of the starting alignment as Ray Sadecki was pushed back, not having pitched on Sunday due to the rain, into a starting assignment today. The next pitch is in for a call, strike 2. count to Jimmy Hall, former Minnesota Twin. Came to Chicago from the Yankees. And at 2 strikes, the pitch is hit out to center field. A long way, but not far enough. Agee drifting back is under it, and he makes the count. On away. And it brings up Willie Smith. Mets leading 12-10. 1 out the bottom of the 10th inning. Smith, a left-hand batter, batting at 176. He has 4 base hits, making 9 base hits, 51 times up. And the first pitch is swung on him as strike 1. Willie Smith was a pinch hitter in yesterday's ball game and hit into a forced play. On the play, a run scored. Next pitch back is high, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Mets have Duffy Dyer catching. Ed Kranepool at first. Ken Boswell at second. Bud Harrelson at short. Wayne Garrett at third. Jones, Agee, and Marshall in the outfield. Pitch back. Curveball low, and it's 2 balls and 1 strike. That's won the first game of the series, a 5-game series, 9-5, as Taylor got the win. Taylor in position to win another. As the Mets lead 12-10. The 2-1 pitch. It is inside. Ball 3. 3 balls, 1 strike. The on-deck batter, Don Kessinger. And of course, if a runner gets on, that puts a potential time run at the plate. Now McAndrew checking out the signs and the pitch. And it's swung on and fouled back. So the count full at 3-2. McAndrew with a fastball. Smith had a big cut, but just nicked it. Willie Smith has hit some prodigious home runs in his career. Next pitch, a check and a swing. It's ball 4. So that puts the potential time run at the plate as Smith works out a walk in the 3-2 pitch. That brings up Don Kessinger. And now Gil Hodges walking out toward Duffy Dyer, the catcher, and then changes his mind and walking back to the bench. Gil evidently wanting the umpire, Andy Olson, to check with Ken Burkhardt about whether or not Smith had made a swing at that last pitch. Kessinger has been up 4 times without a base hit. Left-hand batter now against the right-hander Jim McAndrew. And the pitch. And it's lined to third baseman Wayne Garrett. He throws to first, and Smith is doubled off first base, and the Mets win the ball game. Line shot to Wayne Garrett. He got it high in the air with both hands, and then had an easy throw to first base as Willie Smith was moving with the hit, which he should not have been doing, and it's a double play, and the Mets win the ball game by a score of 12-10. In the inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, and no one left on base. And the final score, New York Mets winning the second game of this 5-game series by a score of 12-10.
Exciting things are happening today and every day at Spectors, Metroland's fashion leader in men's and boys' clothing. Spectors, 233 Central Avenue, Albany, is the home of Eagle, Petrocelli, Hamilton Park, and Botany 500 clothing. Spectors is 1 city block deep and chock full of every famous brand of fashion clothing and sportswear. Come on to Spectors on Central Avenue in Albany. We have a gigantic park and shop lot across the street from our door. Shop Spectors every night till 9, Saturday till 6. Well, neighbor, how are you weathering the weather? Does the heat kind of take the edge off your appetite sometimes? Tell you what does hit the spot, a really good ice cream sundae at Flavorland, just like the old-fashioned ice cream parlors used to make. And Dip Seal Test bulk ice cream, topped off with the most delicious fruits and nuts and toppings and real whipped cream. There are 2 Flavorlands in the Schenectady area, one at Shoporama Shopping Plaza on Altamont Avenue in Rotterdam, and one at Willowbrook Shopping Plaza on Route 50 in Glenville.
And that final score of one of the wildest New York Mets baseball games in the history of the ball club, the final score, the Mets 12 and the Cubs 10. The Mets now a game and a half out of first place on a big 2-run home run by Duffy Dyer.
Your
Dollars go further at Sears, and just to prove it, Sears is having $188 days now through Saturday at the big, wide, wonderful world of Sears in Colony Center. This is your chance to save on first quality Sears appliances, each at the low price of $188. That's right, just $188. Look what $188 buys at Sears. A big 14 cubic foot cold spot refrigerator with automatic defrost. This week, just $188. And $188 buys a Sears 11-inch portable color television with memory fine tuning. A 15 cubic foot cold spot upright freezer is yours for $188. And Sears has a fabulous Kenmore washer dryer combination, also priced at just $188 this week only. Washer features built-in lint filter. The dryer has 2 convenient temperature settings. All these first quality Sears appliances, each for the low price of $188, now through Saturday only at the big, wide, wonderful world of Sears in Colony Center. Use Sears Easy Payment Plan.
And the final score once again of the big ball game this afternoon, the New York Mets 12, the Chicago Cubs 10. Mets baseball has been presented by STP Products. STP is the racer's edge. And brought to you in part by McDonald's. McDonald's, your kind of place. And by Rheingold Extra Dry, the beer with the 10-minute head. Time in. This is the New York Mets Baseball Radio Network. And join us tomorrow afternoon for a big doubleheader, would you believe? Game time, 1:25. The New York Mets and the Chicago Cubs. The Mets now only a game and a half behind the front-running Cubs.